Okay, hopefully this time we're not mute like last week. Hopefully not. Let us share this link. I'll give you guys a moment to let me know if I'm muted. And then we're gonna post to the Discord server so that people there know we're live as well. Okay. And we have shared to the Discord, and I believe at this point the stream should have caught up and is actually live. I think. Let me check my audio as well. And we'll get it rolling just to make sure I'm not sounding too loud or too quiet. Because basically, my mic isn't a permanent setup. Like, I put it on and off the desk a lot. So sometimes I turn the knob for the gain and it ends up being very loud. But let's not do that. Let's make sure we sound good. Okay, it sounds like we do sound good. So, let's say hello to everybody. Let's see, we got Sidon. Oops, enjoy my coffee. Thank you, Sidon. We got Crimson Hornet. Hello, hello. We got Lake and Pixie. How are you? I'm good. I'm tired. I'm just waking up. Thankfully, and sleeping as much as last week, so I'm more awake. More awake. He was about to sleep and the notification scared you. Oh no. Well, you should go back to bed if you're about to sleep. Let me not break the sleep. Sleep is important. But thank you for dropping by regardless. The part about the Great Crater being the red of the ultimate weapon for Kalos is... You know... Yeah, sure. Yeah. The game itself disproves it. I think they said it was like a meteor or something like that. And then I just added the Kalos thing later. So it's Meteor first, and then Kalos. Anyways, hello Tio, hello Mihawk. How you doing? You're sad that who won't have an episode? What is Ture? Ture? Is that a different version of Turo? Hello Lee. Hello Squirtle Scraggy. Oh. That's not Scraggy. That's Shaggy. And Derek. And Hong, hello. You guys have a fellow Genshin player. There's no spaces in there. I'm like, oh no, this is a long word. How do I read it? What's funny is there's been this sign on my way to the park, and it's one of those signs where people like clip on the different text. So sometimes they'll say like free Shavakadu and stuff like that. It's not that place, but it's that type of sign, and it just says Turo on it, and I'm like, do they know? Like, is this a sign from the universe? This is what I was working on the video. Now I'm done with the video. They're still doing it. They confirmed that the Great Crater is thousands of years old. Yeah. Oh, Turo. Turo did get an episode. We're reviewing the Turo episode. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna watch the Turo trailer and the Turo video. Gonna see a bit of the behind the scenes stuff. Gonna give it a rating. And that's gonna be the last stream of the year. And part of me is always like, maybe I should do a New Year's stream, but then I don't. So next time I stream, it will be next year, but we will have... I'm enjoying these Friday morning streams, so I think as long as my like IRL schedule doesn't change, I should be able to keep doing them, so hope to see you guys as well next year. For now, let us, while I try to sip my really hot coffee, let us watch the trailer for the Turo video, which released... When this came out, before we even get into that, when this came out, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get the Turo video done in a week. So it's gonna be this video and then the Turo video. That didn't happen. There was a very big discretion between the release of this and the actual video. What was the hardest part when making the Turo trailer? Figuring out what to do with the text and the pacing, because I only have 3 minutes. So initially this was a lot longer. Turo rambled up for a bit more, but I had to cut some stuff out. And you might notice that the pacing is a bit fast for what typically a letter would be, and that's because I was trying to fit it in the 3-minute limit. Because basically if it's a trailer, it has to be less than 3 minutes. Oh, for you it's Saturday morning. Oh, good morning. It sounds like a good night, but can I guess your favorite games? Probably Genshin. If you're a fellow Genshin player. Yeah, happy early New Year, gamers. Alright, let's see how the Turo's letter went. I'm gonna turn this down a bit.
After half a decade of scouring the world, I finally found the clues I was looking for in the secluded land of Kitakami. First, I ran into a professor from Unova's prestigious Blueberry Academy. It appears that just like me, this Briar has also been looking for a way to locate Galapagos. We thoroughly explored a mysterious lake at the peak of Oni Mountain, which had crystals resembling those found in Paldea. But alas, our investigation yielded no results. Before parting ways, we exchanged contact information and agreed to share anything we find about Galapagos at our earliest convenience. She may yet prove useful in finding a way to bring you back. Having once again reached a dead end, I decided to pay a visit to Kitakami's Wisteria Pond one last time before departing for another region. I'm not sure why, but whenever I'm near that pond, my symptoms finally show some sign of relief. Ah, what a pleasure it is to feel the warmth of the sun, to have that nagging feeling of hatred towards the world silenced, if only for a few minutes. And just when I was
Actually, you guys are asking what the hardest part of this was? I think it was this scene right here, because he's talking about how he's enjoying the warmth of the sun, but like this letter's written during the nighttime, so I was like, is this gonna confuse people by the fact that one of them is at daytime and the other's at night? Also, I'm glad this is helping you with your English. I mean, your English seems pretty good in the chat, so I'm impressed. Also, hello Jessica. Hello. No one can guess your favorite. DJ Decidu guy. I think your favorite Pokemon is Grookey. You seem like a Grookey person.
Beginning to relax, I heard a familiar voice asking me an all too stupid question. Aren't you going to catch that shiny low?
Okay, so I think I need to give a context on this, right? Why am I even talking about a random shiny Lotad? The answer to this is I actually had a whole... Oh, I can share this. I can share this now. So like we had a whole thing. Turo and the Teal Mask. There was a full recording of Turo going up against every trainer in the Teal Mask. And by that I mean he was fighting the Ogre clan. So like it was, the idea was all Turo's in Kitakami trying to get information on the Ogre, and he ends up battling the Ogre clan because they're like the gym leaders, and he uses the Paradox Pokemon that we've seen him have. So it was basically gonna be Turo with his future Pokemon against Kitakami, but like I don't know, it didn't feel like it fit the structure. And also Kitakami doesn't really have gym leaders, so I don't know, it just didn't flow well. Like I tried to write something around this, but I wasn't liking it. Like it wasn't up to standard. But there was gonna be this whole Turo and the Teal Mask episode that just completely got erased. But yeah, this is where I found the shiny. Let's see. Yeah, I was just running around. I was like, oh, there's Ralts here, which is surprising because that's Turo's ace Pokemon. He's got a Ralts as his ace. And I forget what I was doing. I legit forget what I was doing. I think I was just trying to get the travel point or something. Just exploring the area, and then there's just a... like, wait a second. Is that shiny Lotad right there? And it was. It was a shiny Lotad, so I was like, oh, let me at least, you know, even though if the rest of this doesn't happen, we'll still mention the shiny Lotad. And this is how the shiny Lotad came to be. Do I watch any other Poketubers personally? Trying to think. I would watch like Birdkeeper Toby. I think like Candy Eevee is her name or something like that. And she posts. I watch her stuff. Not too many. Even though I enjoy Pokemon, I don't think I like fully nerd out over it. And there's just a lot of content. Sometimes I'll have like Wolfie on in the background while I'm like recording stuff. But I don't count that as like watching, you know. I'm not like sitting there like fully focused on the video. And there's a lot of Pokemon creators. So what do you like more, Splatoon or Pokemon? At the moment it's probably Pokemon, but and the real answer is Ace Attorney. I've been playing a lot of Ace Attorney lately, and I'm loving those games. I like this is the year where I binged all the Ace Attorney games. All right.
Lotad swimming in the pond? It could only be spoken by an idiot who does not realize that he is far more valuable than any shiny Pokemon in existence. For that question came from none other than the Ogerpon of legend, a Pokemon which had terrorized the land of Kitakami for several centuries, yet remained unseen for just as long. As it turns out, he was exiled by the people of Paldea shortly after the Great War with Galar. Once he found a home here in Oni Mountain, some thieving Pokemon robbed him of all his possessions and his companion. The Ogerpon lashed out in a fit of rage, and after fending off these rowdy invaders, he hid deep in the mountains and slumbered for centuries, only recently waking up after a vivid dream from the distant past. But this is
the Oleana episode. I'm not talking about this in this case, but because that's more of a Galar thing. Do you think ZA will be good? I have no idea. I mean, just basing it off of the fact that they're taking a bit more time to make it, I think it will be better than what we've seen in their latest releases. Will it be good? I don't know, but it will probably be better than what we've already had. But the bar is kind of low, so you know, I want to be hopeful and I want to say heck yeah, ZA will be amazing, but we gotta see some actual gameplay or trailers at some point and then make that call. Also, based on the fact that we haven't gotten any information on it yet, I don't think we're getting any until like I don't think the game's coming out until like November. Do you ask why Turo self-monologue? Well, this one it's his journal, so we're just hearing it in his voice. Like this is just something that's written down. What team am I for Frosty Fest? That is a good question. I have not picked a team yet. I haven't had much time to play Splatoon lately. Let's see, Splatoon NA. What do we got for Frosty Fest? I don't even remember what the teams are. That's how bad this is. Did they not post the Frosty Fest teams on Splatoon North America? They didn't post the teams. Oh, there they are. These are the team options. It's money, experience, or presence. What will make you the happiest? Well. Let's see. Presents I don't care much about. I'll be like presents easy skip. We don't care about presents that much. Experiences I do like. Really depends on the person you're with though. Like some people can make an experience feel horrible. While other people can make the experience feel absolutely amazing. Now money. Yeah, I'm kind of broke. So money would be good, but like I'd need a lot of it. So I think I'm gonna probably go experiences. Experiences seems like the way to go for me. but I might just I might just go Team Shiver for the heck of it. Cause I don't know how many more Splatfests we're gonna get. Probably like at least 2 or 3 more, right? There's no way we're out of. There's no way we're out. Which region will we do next? If that's an interesting question. I wonder why I'm asking about the Kanto trainers all of a sudden. I really do wonder why I'm asking about the Kanto trainers. I really do wonder. Anyways,
For it has the same voice and name as that traveling vampy you met all those years ago. The one that turned to stone. The one that gave me this curse. The one that knew about Tarapagos. It appears he has no memories of these events. However, my story seems to have piqued his interest. Claiming he wields the power to take down Tarapagos, the talking ogre pawn has requested I take him back to Paldea. It appears that this long journey is finally nearing its end. Turo.
oh hey, it's the stream. Why is it plugging the stream all of a sudden? So what do we think about this trailer? Was it like a good intro, like a good lead up to the final episode? When are you gonna make more Pokemon Legends Arceus content? I actually have a bunch of it planned. I think I just put it under Connect's champion. Yeah, I have like a whole Volo run. I mean, not Volo. You know, it's Will. A whole bunch of a run recorded. I need to write the script and make the video. So sometime early next year. It was confused. Okay, tell me more. Your Wi-Fi is decomposing itself. Just step away from the microwave. I was also thinking of doing a every trainer in Arceus video, but I need to like revisit and make sure I'm not missing anyone. Cause there's there's very few trainers in that game. But it'd be funny to do a Pokemon trainer census on all the trainers you can find in Arceus. I just need to make sure I have all of them. Also, I've only ran into Clover so far. So maybe we can do a stream where I go around and I try to find the other Misfortune sisters. Yeah, Irida and Adam, but they're like main trainers. For the trainer census, it's more like non-main trainers that I'm looking for. Good trailer was hyped. Cool. Hello, Chris. Happy late Christmas. Hey. Haha, joke. Okay, so this trailer, how are we rating it, gamers? I'm gonna say it's a solid 7.5. It was alright. Felt a bit random, especially with how early it came out relative to the actual video. But it is what it is. And now we're gonna jump into the movie. The big bad Turo movie. So this one's gonna take a while. We're probably gonna take breaks every like 5-10 minutes, kind of talk about what's going on. And let's see. This. Can I ask if you're ever gonna do a vlog? That is a good question. I don't know. What do you mean by vlog? Like just me in my room talking, or like me being out and about? I actually wanted to do some vlog related stuff while I was in Europe, but then I was too shy to just pull out my phone and record in public. Oh, maybe it made it through a lot in 18 minutes. Yeah, we ran through the trailer. Now we're skipping Oleana. Wait, did we do Sada? Did we not? I thought we covered Sada last week. Yeah, we covered Sada last week. You had to leave for work stuff. But we did cover Sada last week. Now we're on to the Turo episode. Oleana we're kind of skipping. Oleana I'm just treating as a previous thing. Can I do a face reveal? No, I'm good. I don't really leave the house anyway, so it's not like anyone would recognize me, but like I'm good. I'd rather not. Yeah, surely it's BDSP. Surely it's that game. Yeah, surely.
This is Turo, the future-loving Pokemon professor exclusive to Violet.
I wonder if anyone noticed
This is Turo, the future-loving
the Squidward going future hair reveal. Could he physically do so? Yes. Will he? No. Can I guess your favorite Pokemon? Well, let's see. Sidon is a shark. So you probably like a shark Pokemon. So probably Sharpedo. I don't know. Imagine if someone actually does it and recognizes you by your face. Yeah, that's a big worry. Also, my parents don't understand the whole YouTube thing, so they'll be like, "Why does this random child know you? You never leave the house." And then I'd be like, "Oh no."
loving Pokemon professor exclusive to Violet version. Long before becoming a professor, Turo was a champion-ranked trainer in the region. Maybe. He's listed in the Hall of Fame book at the Academy, but we all know that some trainers can get in there for outstanding achievements like taking down a bunch of Titan Pokemon and finding the cure to cancer. Did the game ever tell us what was actually wrong with Arvin's dog? Wait, no, I'm getting more sidetracked than Turo when he went to pick up milk from the store. Now, where was I? Oh, right, to find out if Turo was actually...
I personally like that little transition. I personally like this little transition. You see, that happened to me, Chris, when I was teaching. I used to teach back in the day, and one of my students is like, "I recognize your voice," and I'm like, "No, you don't." No, you don't. Like, "Do you stream on YouTube?" And I'm like, "No, I don't." "You make videos?" "No." "You play video games?" I'm like, nervously sweating. "No." No. I'll teach what? I used to teach science with like Legos. It was like an after school program thing. It did not pay well. I was generating 80% of their income and they were paying me 1% of their revenue. I was like, nah, we don't play these games.
Actually a top-tier trainer, I decided to play through Pokemon Scarlet as Turo, using the same Pokemon movesets and abilities as his in-game team. Yeah, none of these Pokemon are even...
Also, thank you, Project Shadow. I also wasn't sure how to handle the whole, hey, they're version exclusives. Because this happens in the other game that doesn't have them.
Available in Scarlet version. But since we're talking about past Turo here, let's just assume that he's used the present day versions of these Paradox Pokemon, and I know that Iron Valiant could be represented by one of two final evolutions, so just let RNG decide based on the gender of the first routes I run into.
Did someone notice this? The gender of the first routes I run into, and then for a brief moment, I flash a light blue screen on. Which is to imply foreshadowing slash letting you guys know exactly what gender it's gonna be. I'm very curious if somebody noticed this as well. Oh yeah, I remember Volpixie's story, yeah. Country review? I mean, I'm in the US right now. It's a big country. Yeah. Do you play Pokemon Tournament? Oh, Pokken? I played it back on the Wii or the Wii U, but I did not bother getting it for this console.
Now before we kick off this journey, I think I should tell you that this isn't any old character run. It's the season finale to my Paldea and Could X Become Champion series, which has quite a bit of story and lore. You can go watch all the other episodes if you like this stuff and linked in the description, but since you're already here, let me just give you the quick rundown. I was sent to Paldea to test the power levels of his gym leaders, but got stuck in a time loop thanks to the past obsessed Professor Sada and her malfunctioning time machine. Along the way, I was given the powers of the 4 Curses of Ruination and found out that this Pokemon named Terapagos was turning my previous selves into crystal stakes.
Also, I really hope this didn't drag on for too long. I was like, I'm pretty sure there's people that are gonna be watching this and not have seen anything else. Like, this is the finale, so maybe I should give like a quick rundown of what happened. That way, I don't just go, oh, you're not, this is not gonna make any sense for you.
For some reason. On my last journey with the gym leaders, I got sent back 1,000 years. A lot has happened in that time, but I mostly took a really long nap. When I finally woke up, I ran into Turo all the way in Kitakami, and now we're back to Paldea to help save his dear Sada from the clutches of Terapagos. And that's where I come in.
Are you done monologuing yet?
And then I hope a good transition into, hey, there's gonna be character conversations. In your opinion, you handled the exclusive very good. Aw, thank you. Why did I move to the US? My parents won the lottery. So there's a US lottery that gives you a green card, and they're like, oh, we don't like East Europe because, you know, communism, oppression. So they're like, let's go to the US, and we're here now. I still go back like over the summer. It's gotten a lot better over there. But when they were growing up, it was not good. What is my favorite Pokemon? Bayleaf. How did you choose the Pokemon for each person? Interesting question. So usually I look at what their team is composed of. So here, we'll do... Usually I'll just go into like Cerebi, I'll look at their teams, and then I'll be like, oh, this is not the right teams, I'm using the rematch teams. Hold on. We're gonna go to gym leader rematches, and then we'll be like, alright, well, Katie has these bugs, but there's other bugs that she doesn't have. And then we're gonna look through the bugs available, and they're gonna be like, alright, which one's kinda... So like Surskit's a possibility. Cricketot's a possibility. A lot of these weren't added until... Joltik is too small. I was like, alright, what appears early game? And I was like, well, there's a Snom in her town, so it's probably a good idea to do Snom, because the Snom appears. Alright, cool, so that's Katie. Same for Ayano. Oh, she has electric type Pokemon. What's a cute-ish electric Pokemon that shows up early on in the game? Kind of scroll a bit. Look up. Oh, Mareep. I like Mareep. Mareep is similar to Wooloo. Perfect. We're gonna be Mareep. And then for Turo, it's more like what's strong enough to carry through the end of the game. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but at the end of that's also why we had like the, was it Cupfu? Urshifu? Urshifu I didn't even have art with, but yeah. Someone mentioned the Meganium line. Yeah, it's my favorite. Such a coincidence. You won a green card lottery right after deciding to leave. Well, I didn't win it. No. They won it. What country did you... I'm from Bulgaria originally. I remember you're champion. Hi, hello, Alola Lily. Merry Christmas. You thought Ogerpon was female. See, people were very caught up on that, and I'm just like, guys, just let the Pokemon be whatever it is. I was Scraggy for most of B's run, yeah, but got the Cupfu Urshifu beforehand, yeah, and I think for this one it made more sense to just be in the form from the beginning. Bum, bum, bum. In my opinion, what's the most underrated Pokemon? Cramorant. Yeah, it's just a show, gamers. It's just the Ogerpon. This is the one male Ogerpon. How's that? Ogerpon are usually all female. This is the one male Ogerpon. I'm like Ganondorf here. This is Ganondorf logic, okay? I'm Ganondorf.
Almost. I just need to write out all the rules we'll be following to keep this run fair.
Rules? Fair? Do you think Terapagos has been playing fair? Give me that list. The only rule we'll follow is that we win. And also no revives or excessive heals. I'm nearly out of money from all the traveling, and those things are expensive.
Dang, dude. You need to chill.
Chill? Chill? You do realize I'm always freezing thanks to that little curse your past self gave me, right?
Yeah, you keep telling me about this talking Vampy, but I don't remember that ever happening.
Well then feast your eyes, Ogre Boy, because this is what happens when you try to play.
Also, kind of question, Do you prefer the one where I just go, we will win, versus a character one where it's like, we don't know if the character will win or not? Because, I mean, gameplay-wise, of course, I enjoy winning. I enjoy not being stuck at a gym for 3 hours trying to figure out a way to beat it. But is it more fun for, like, a viewer perspective? Which season is your favorite? I kind of like season 1 a bit more.
Fair with Tarapagos. See that stick over there? That was you at some point.
Huh, now that you mention it, it does look familiar. I'm surprised it's still in one piece.
And why is that?
It's funny that you of all people asked that question. But I guess I should be thanking you for breaking all those other stakes. Because if what Calyrex told me is true, that's exactly what we need to do.
Wait, what are you?
Ha, man, that felt good.
Why would you do that?
Because the Pokemon encased in that stake was part of me. While its physical form is long gone, things like its soul and memories remain locked within the crystal. By shattering them, they can finally be free.
I also kind of hope that this was like a good like early establishment of, hey, this is when we see the stakes, he's gonna break the stakes. We're gonna be surprised why he does it. Kind of just establishing it. I realized I didn't really talk much about what Calyrex did or said, but oh, hey, Revid, what happened to your son? I don't know. I was thinking about maybe including them in season 3, but we'll see.
And return to their rightful owner, me.
So you remember everything you did as a Vampy now?
Vaguely, but most importantly, I remember exactly where we
Establish the stakes quickly.
need to go to get some info on Terrapagos.
You do?
Yeah, but first we're gonna need to go collect some gym badges. We started our journey by catching that male route and making our way to Mesagoza. Since I can finally use items in a challenge run, I didn't want to let this opportunity go to waste, so we instantly hit the shops and got some wise glasses for a young Valiant. We also spent a ton of time looking around the rooftops of Mesagoza, mainly to find a TM for Grassnot. We technically could have just taken the
How long did I make this? This is an hour and 20 minutes. Also, I gotta say, this is the hardest to find little area in Mesagoza. Cause like you literally like these are so tight.
normal
You
path,
never
but
think to go
getting
through, and
this
there's like this beautiful courtyard over here.
area requires you to walk through some very hard to see side streets.
So I did get lost. I had to like jump in through the roofs because I could not find this place. I'm like, this has Grassnot. I need Grassnot to beat the Titan, but I can't find it. Because like there's a restaurant and there's like a random side street, so you're like, oh, there's probably just an item. No, there's like a whole courtyard over there.
Anyways, now that we're done prepping, it was time to head out east and catch our second team member, Makuhita, or should I say Hands. While exploring the area to snag some other TMs like Icy Wind and Bulldoze, we saw a giant cloth and decided to challenge it.
Did anyone find this funny? Or did I just think it was kind of stupid funny and then... See, I found the giant cloth and then I zoom in on the small one. I thought it was funny, but I don't know if it was funny or not. What's the most overrated Pokemon in your opinion? Probably Charizard. Like, it's cool looking. And they made it pretty good for Leon, but like, I don't know, in general, I wasn't that impressed with Charizard before that. It's my favorite idol group. I don't really have one. Hi, hello. Hello, welcome gamers. We're going through the tutorial video and kind of talking about random stuff as we do.
Giant cloth and decided to challenge it for some extra experience before taking on the gyms. Our strategy was pretty simple: spam Send Attack to lower its accuracy, then Grass Knot to make its HP fall down to 0. Having gained some confidence in our team, we hopped back to Mesagoza to get a held item for Hands, and then took the scenic road to Cortando, making sure to pick up that TM for Rock Tomb along the way.
This is like the most convenient TM in the whole game. I've had to use it for, I believe, the Larry video and Kofu as well. Like, it's so out of the way, but it's like the most useful, because the only other like flying move that could help you against Katie early game is Aerial Ace if you defeat all the trainers. And then I think there's like Air Slash, but most Pokemon can't learn Air Slash early on. So even though the TM's there, you can't really use it. But this is like a lot of Pokemon can learn Rock Tomb. Question about the Kanto lore. I'm just not gonna talk about it because that's spoilers, and I haven't fully thought about it yet. I'm still in the planning phases. Don't even know if it's gonna happen. I'm hoping it happens, but we'll see. The Hop cameo was funny. Yeah. Its name, his hands, exactly. Most Pokemon are not shock and therefore cannot learn.
Unfortunately for us, one good move would not be enough to sweep at Katie's gym. She ain't even hiring janitors right now.
I wrote this this whole, sorry, we're not gonna hire you gamers. This is another one of those things that pops in for like 2 seconds. It's a joke I reused twice in this video, but I thought it would be funny to say, hey, they're not even hiring janitors because we couldn't sweep. Get it? Okay.
Our initial strategy was to set up focus energy for more crit hits than spam Rock Tomb, but our HP got cut down pretty fast, and since Teddy Ursa is more nimble, it could finish off hands before we could throw rocks. Meanwhile, Valiant would just get one shot. It's a baby. Since it was important to keep hands alive in our next attempt, we spammed Sand Attack to make it so that Nimble couldn't kick us, then used the potion to heal and set up a substitute. Unfortunately, these dolls are too easily broken, so instead of trying again, we rage quit, went back down to where Cloth hangs out, and picked up the TM for Drain Punch. Why bother with all these fancy strategies when we can just brute force our way to a win? Am I right, gamers? On turn 1, we set up our focus energy since crit hits are nice, then we terrestrialize into a fighting type, giving us double stab, which means our not very effective fighting type move would be doing normal amounts of damage. And we could also recover some HP along the way. When Katie sent out her ace, we decided to give it some pocket sand because those fury swipes are annoying, and then I thought I'd try throwing some rocks at her bear, and guess all we needed was one crit hit. Unfortunately for us, this wasn't the only difficult early game gym for Turo. While we had no trouble drain punching all the rowdy Sunflora and Artisan, we couldn't exactly punch Brassius's lead since it kept putting us to sleep on the very first turn. And even when we managed to wake up and push through to his ace, the Sudowoodo was somehow too fast, and our Valiant was still way too weak, still a baby. We tried this battle several times, and for some reason...
Yeah, I also did like the attempt numbers up here. Is it gonna be another vid this year? I don't... If I finish it on time, probably not. It's probably gonna be like early next year.
The 75% accuracy sleep powder landed every single time. Our substitute could only bulk through one move, and even at full HP, hands couldn't take down the Trulawudo. We even tried...
So I do a recording of each battle, and I think I had like 4 or 5 recordings of this just trying to like beat this guy with a Bakuhita, and it wasn't working. And I'm like, alright, you know what, this is taking up too much storage. I'm gonna just delete this. Because I always have storage problems. Like I'm in the red. Help. I realize there's still a lot of storage I could put on there, but like, I'm in the red.
Tried an evasion-based strategy where hands use Mud Slap to lower Sudowoodo's accuracy, and Valiant set up like 3 double teams so we could survive for a few extra turns. But sadly, our super effective Icy Wind attacks were doing basically baby damage because Routes is still a baby, meaning it was back to square one. At first, my idea was to go and snag that Eviolite item from the secluded beach, but in order to get it, we'd have to win 7 battles against trainers that are way above our level. So instead, we settled on another strategy, the key to which was also found on that secluded beach. Bulk Up. It's a simple status move that boosts the user's physical attack and defense stats, and is just what hands needed to turn the tides of battle. We spammed Mud Slap on the Petalo so that its sleep powder would finally miss, and then we healed up because it wasn't missing enough, and of course it's gonna hit us! Thankfully, the rest of its attacks didn't, so we could wake up, set up a focus energy for more crits, and then start bulking up our stats. Again? Okay, I'm done playing games with this little fly.
Yeah, 75% accuracy, and it hit every single time, despite me having like done like Mud Slaps on it and everything. I'm like, why is this? How? Meanwhile, I use a 95% accuracy move and it misses like half the time.
Next time we wake up, it's going down. I should have just KO'd it sooner, to be honest, since Smoliv only knows physical moves and spamming Bulk Up would make it do even less damage. This meant we could now safely max out our terrestrialize and...
You can tell I'm so done with the gym when I have like maxed out stats. When you see this, this means This means hey. I'm tired of being here. I'm going ultimate gamer mode on you.
To rastalize and
Yeah,
one-punch the olive.
Without the items, Turo would absolutely get like stomped in all of these gyms. That's the other thing. So technically Turo couldn't, but because I made the rule of we win, it's like, all right, we're not gonna settle for a loss. We're finding a way to win.
Up with his Trula Widow, but this time the Trailblaze was barely doing any damage, and if the tree wasn't so sturdy, it would have gotten one shot. I guess it gets two shot instead. Having acquired our second gym badge, we made our way towards Navincia for gym number 3, and let me tell you gamers, Iono was even more of a challenge. Going into a fight 2v4 is always a bad idea, but it's even worse of an idea when your lead is weak to their lead, and your ace deals less damage than if I were to throw an actual ace card at the enemy. And to make matters worse, we were severely underleveled. Needless to say, we were going to have to train up our team a bit, and since I never got to finish that quest to get the Eviolite, I thought it was a good time as any to head back towards the secluded beach and take down some trainers. Oh look, there's even Larvitar along the way, so we can have a third teammate. After winning a series of battle, our weak little routes finally managed to evolve into a Curlia, our new Larvitar got the Eviolite for extra bulk, and we weren't even done with our prep, because the level cap at Iono's gym is 24, and guess what level Makuhita needs to be in order to evolve? So we gave it some candy and went back for a proper rematch. Larvitar used Smackdown to knock her first Pokemon out of the sky, then screeched at her belly bolt to turbo lower its physical defense.
So many people made comments about the Ree! And I'm like, at this point, it feels wrong for me to have a Pokemon use Screech and not do that sound. it's just me saying Ree. Ree! That's all it is. That's all it is.
After that, we could do some major damage with a Stomping Tantrum, but she countered us with a Water Gun, so poor little Thorns was down for the count.
Have I played in Stars in Time? I don't know what that is. So no.
Thankfully, our newly evolved hands could easily bulldoze through this bulky frog. Paluxio tried to intimidate us, so we set up a focus energy and switched to using Draining Punch. That way we'd have enough HP for her final Pokemon. She tried to confuse us, but that didn't stop hands from throwing a punch. And next, Iono went on the offensive, but her Hex attack wasn't doing much either, which meant all we had to do was punch her ghost one more time. And now the third badge was mine. Well, ours.
Hold it, you two!
Iono?
Ace Attorney reference? Anyone? Anyone? Ace Attorney?
Ha! I knew it was you!
Wait, you recognize me?
How could I not, Mr. Shocky Sheep? Even if you disguise yourself as another Pokemon, I can still tell it's you.
Man, I haven't been called that name in ages.
Ages? But we just talked the other day.
The other day? You mean...
Also, yeah, this is the same universe as the first video, basically. Same timeline as the first video. Which is why Iono recognizes us, and he's like, wait a second, how do you recognize me? Because up until now, every video has been a new timeline. And now it's convergent somehow. And it's like, whoa, wait, I'm back where we all started?
You and Sada put me in her time machine?
No, that was a week ago. But then she told me you were probably just lost somewhere in the region, since she only sent you back by a couple days. So, I made a bunch of videos asking all my viewers to help find you. And a few days later, I got a ton of DMs telling me about a talking
That's the video, not you.
Vasko, who was wandering around the lighthouse. I got there faster than light.
Also, yo, the Psyche Duck. I'm tempted to make filler episodes and be like, here's the story of what happened with the Psyche Duck and the mouse and the Gimme Ghoul, but they follow a different trainer before reaching this point. I'm so tempted. I am so tempted, but I won't, but I'm so tempted.
Lightning, and that's when we talked.
Yeah, I don't remember any of that happening.
Did turning into a rock wipe your memories or something, Green Guy?
Green Guy? Wait, turning into a rock?
Yeah, you kind of freaked out when you saw me. Said you'd give me a special gift, and then poof, you became this really pretty crystal rock thing.
And you're saying this all happened the other day?
Yeah-huh, like 2 days ago.
But that's impossible. We were just heading back from Kitakami 2 days ago.
Hey, Shocky Sheep, that's That's not fair. How come you're going around having adventures with this grumpy Gramps instead of me?
It's a lot to explain, and I will, but could you take us to where that pretty crystal was?
Fine. But you better tell me everything along the way.
Yes, I will.
Wow! I can't believe you got to travel through time so many times. Maybe I should go ask Sada to put me in the time machine too.
No, that doesn't sound like a good idea. Also, were you always this envious? Wait, what gift did the Psyche Duck give you exactly?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Did you feel anything different after your encounter?
Now that you mentioned it, I've been feeling kind of warm ever since I met.
Also, another thing, I don't know if you guys noticed this with the Turo faces, he doesn't show happiness, proper happiness, until Sada wakes up. He's always like kind of sad or grumpy looking. I think he like mildly smiles during the Sayono cutscene, but in general he's always like kind of like sad and miserable looking. See, no, it wouldn't be for quick videos. It would be, I posted this in the Discord for my I have a members / patrons chat where I just share random thoughts. And I was like, someone tell me no, please, because this is what I was thinking of doing. This is what I'm thinking of doing. Someone say no. But like, I like these trainers. I kind of would want to do a run as them. I kind of want to. Like just to fill in the gaps. But we'll see. It's also sad that Ryford doesn't have full art of her. It's kind of sad.
Met Mr. Psyche Duck, but I'm pretty sure it's just a fever or something.
No. Fevers make you feel cold. I believe I know what's going on here.
You do?
Indeed. When I met the talking vampy years ago, it too gave me a gift.
Then I want that gift too!
No, you do not, foolish little girl. For it is not a gift, but a curse.
The power of a curse, actually.
Power? The only thing this power's done is make me feel cold all the time, and a nagging feeling of hatred towards the world.
That's probably what I have too. It's just hot all the time.
I don't know how noticeable it is when Iono talks about it. There's like a little flame. This was kind of to establish the little flame that shows up when she's having the Grusha conversation later on. Yeah, they take a lot of work to make. I'm kind of tempted. I mean, I already have the Pokemon sprites. I just need the character sprites. We'll see. It's pending.
A lot more envious of everyone, including you, Grumpy Gramps.
Stop calling me that, you insolent little girl.
Only when you stop scowling at me all the time, Grumpy Gramps.
Only when you start talking in a normal volume. Turn it down a bit. Jeez, you act like your mother's a Loudred.
I'll have you know, my mama is a hex maniac and not a big mouth Pokemon.
Enough, you two! The past me's gave you their powers because they thought of you as friends, because they wanted to protect you both from Terrapagos. We're on the same team here, so stop arguing already.
I apologize. I've lost my composure.
Me too. I'm sorry, Shocky Sheep. And I'm sorry, Grumpy Gramps.
Hey.
Turo, let it go. She only gives these silly nicknames to people she likes.
Fine. I'll put up with it for now.
Great. Now then, to do the thing we came here for.
Mr. Shocky Sheep, why did you do that?
Because that crystal was holding on to some of my soul, and by breaking it, I could finally set it free.
Your soul? Oh,
I was a bit concerned that the Iono talks drag on a little bit too much. But at the same time, I feel like we should have included all this conversation. Like, I don't think any of it came off as unnecessary. And I was like, I kind of want to split it, but I don't know where else it would include her.
Mama did mention she sent something in there, but she couldn't find a way to bring you back.
You tried to bring him back?
Of course! Mr. Shocky Sheep and I were the bestest of friends. I wasn't gonna leave him to be a statue forever. Wait, are you saying you didn't try to help the Shocky Sheep you met before?
Of course I tried, my dear son.
I'm curious if anyone paused and looked at all the random stuff they tried. So it did. I spent like a solid like 20 minutes making this background of all the random things they tried to fix the stake situation. Including a ceiling tag. Just this is more to keep other Pokemon away than to fix the stake. But they got a little button to like put electricity through. They got a magnet stuck on there and make sure it's magnetic. Got a metronome to see if they can measure anything different. So a metronome is just for measurement. See if there's any like difference in reverberation. So like, oh, is the Phanpy still in there like thinking and responding somehow? They try to use an ice heal because it kind of looks ice. If you change your display name to Iono, can you call me Mr. Shocky Sheep? You don't have to do that. There's a metal coat. I don't know why. And then vinegar. Of course, vinegar fixes everything. This is not oil. This is vinegar. Vinegar solves all your problems. Of course. Try to put vinegar on it. See if that fixed it. It didn't do anything.
Sada and I ran all sorts of experiments and analyses on that stone, but we couldn't.
I was just like, if you're a kid and you're trying to, because they're still like, you know, in school in that point. I'm like, what would they try? It's just like all the random items.
Find a way to undo the petrification.
Aw, you guys. See? Same team.
Fine. Miss Iono, it appears I have severely misjudged you.
Same here, Grumpy Gramps.
Nah, it's the vinegar item from the game. That's what it looks like.
But I guess I can't call you that now that you're smiling.
No, you can keep calling me that if you wish. Anyways, green guy, I think we've lingered here long enough.
Wait, you're leaving already? Can I come too?
As you may have guessed by now, the two of us are on a quest to take down the Pokemon that caused this whole mess.
Yo, coffee that fixes everything. Hi George, I am having coffee right now. It does fix a lot of things. It just turns off your fatigue.
Time travel, the petrification, not to mention brainwashing my wife, is far too dangerous for someone like you to get involved.
Aw, come on, Grumpy Gramps. I'm pretty strong, you know. I am a champion rank trainer after all. And I have the power of a curse just like you.
Fine. As much as I hate to admit it, you may prove to be a valuable ally. We'll be sure to call you if things go south.
Sounds like you're still planning to leave.
Yo, rub some bacon on it. Is that a Red and Link reference I see right there?
Me behind, but I want to travel with Mr. Shocky Sheep too.
Hey, Iono. I know you want to join us right now, but there's something else we need help with. Something only you can do.
And what would that be, Mr. Shocky Sheep?
Unlike Turo here, who's extremely antisocial, you're very friendly and have an extensive network of fans ready to give you useful information. I mean, I've gone through Paldea at least 8 different times and haven't managed to find a single other me. But it took you only...
I wasn't sure if this joke would hit either, but I made it anyway. It's the single other me. X miles away, get it? Cause can X become champion? I'm old. Help, how do I stop the aging?
But it took you only a few days.
Well, I am Paldea's #1 streamer.
Exactly. So while we're going around and preparing for our eventual...
Wait, George. You guys pour coffee on your wounds? Does that... I'm concerned. I'm concerned now. Mostly curious, but a little bit concerned. Why don't I do a penny run and shield? I've thought about it. I have.
Battle with Terrapagos, it would be really helpful if you could hang back and try to gather some extra information for us.
Sure, I could do that. So what you want to know?
A lot of things. For starters, there should be 2 other Miis wandering around the region. Maybe they've already turned to stone, but it's very important that I find them.
More Shocky Sheeps or Sparkly Stones. Got it. What else?
Well, any information on Area 0 or Terrapagos would be pretty useful.
I see. Well, leave it all to me, Mr. Shakishi. And you too, Grumpy Gramps.
Thank you for your assistance.
I feel like this part dragged down a bit too much, but it wasn't. I don't know. I was like, it felt necessary to establish what's going to happen. I probably should have included more jokes in between. I was like, this seems a bit serious. And I know a good way to keep the flow going is more jokes. I just could not think of good jokes at the moment. It's my favorite legendary. I think I tried to do a tier list of them at some point, and it was either Regirock or Celebi. I think I'll go with Celebi.
This Iono. Now then, let us be on our way.
Having finished our talks with Iono, we decided to rummage through a pile of stones in the local mines until we found the Dawnstone needed to evolve Curlia into a Gallade. Now that our Valiant had finally evolved, we could have it hold the muscle band that used to be on hands, and it's so strong that it can practically one-shot the giant worm lurking around the mines. We also decided to level up a bit more by challenging the local trainers in the mines, which got us an extra item, the Punching Glove, which is perfect for hands since it boosts the power of punching moves, and we have a lot of those. With our training complete, we made our way towards the other side.
Oh yeah, then I think another reason why I tend to do so much exposition, I didn't realize this until yesterday, because I was kind of going through older games. I'm basically gonna talk about all the games I played this year. So I was looking through Xenoblade, and I went in there to get some footage from their events theater, and I'm like, this is where I've picked up this whole just write a lot of exposition. It works well in Xenoblade though, because they have like different scenes and like the characters are more emotive and moving. Whereas I just have a bunch of like basically static sprites. And I was watching the Xenoblade cutscenes. I'm like, why are these like 15 minutes long? I mean, they work well, but they're long. And I'm like, this is where I picked it up from, isn't it? This is it. You're to blame, Xenoblade. I just need to learn how to actually write that good as well, so that it keeps. Yeah, it has more time to spread stuff over. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Side of the map where things were just as strange. There was a giant flying stork that we shot out of the sky, there was a blockade on the road towards Cascarafa, and the only side route was through the desert where there was another giant Pokemon that looked like an ancient Dawn fan.
Hello Gojo Cat, hello, I don't know how to say her name, but Brew.
We decided to approach this Pokemon since we've already taken down like 3 giants, and on the way saw another member for our team. No, not that!
I was definitely looking at the Larvesta when I threw that ball too. But I think the game autofocuses on whoever's closest to you. Cause like before the throw happens, I'm looking at Larvesta, right? I'm like facing the Larvesta. But I think the way the game's AI functions, that it picks the closest Pokemon to you to throw the item at, unless you specifically lock onto them.
Other member for our team. No, not that! Come back here, Larvesta. You're the one we need. But if you've seen the Sada video, you know I know that Larvesta isn't the best lead at the moment. So instead we led with Valiant, which wasn't a good choice either. We decided to give Moth a try, and even though it got one shot, its flame body ability managed to burn the giant tusk, so it's...
I'm convinced that burn is like one of the best things. And I kind of hope they rework the sleep effect, kind of make it whatever it was in Legends Arceus, like drowsy, and then sleep just have the special version of this. So half the special damage for moves if you're sleepy. I think that'd be like a very good balancing thing. But I think it'll also make like sleep a bit more meta, and they might have to like nerf things like Dream Eater. But like, yeah, it wouldn't fit with moves like Snore, I suppose. But it'd be nice to have like a special attacks version of this as well, because this is so useful.
Physical moves won't be as strong now. Then we followed up with Thorns, who used Screech to lower this Titan's physical defenses, and finally we sent out Hands for the sweep. We were bulky.
Oh, so the question about the burger thing, burgers are actually not that bad. What gets you is the fries that you eat with the burgers. Also, the reason why burgers are technically bad is because they just have like a lot of fat in them from the meat used, but like, they're not that bad. It's the French fries that get you.
enough to take a punch and had our handy draining punch to help heal us up after attacking. Sadly, that healing wasn't enough, so we had to use one hyper potion, but that's all we needed to survive and take down the 4th Titan. Now that the coast was clear, we could finally go to Cascarafa and challenge the water type gym. Our first order of business was to get rid of our flying type weakness by terastallizing into a psychic type, that way Veluza wouldn't just knock us out. And instead, we could knock it out with our leaf blades. The Wug Trio also got one shot, but it did get to lower speed thanks to its GUI ability. Lucky for us, we were still faster than the Snowy Crab, and our leaf blade was strong enough to just one-shot it as well.
See, I tried not to speedrun the battle on this one. I actually went through all. I could've just said I leaf bladed everything. But you do like how the status that don't potentially prevent movement have some other gimmick on them. Burn having attack, badly poison getting stronger each turn. Yeah. I was just thinking, you know, if there's one that halves your attack, shouldn't there be one that halves your special attack? I mean, it would kind of make sense.
Us our easiest win of the run, the Gallade Solo Sweep. Now,
yeah, speaking of the fries, the only reason why I know about the fry stuff is I was in Europe for like 2 months over the summer, and then I get back to the US, and I'm like, why am I gaining weight all of a sudden? Like I was gaining like a kilogram every month, or almost 2 kilograms. I was like, what is happening? Because I'm not even eating as much as I did while in Europe. And then I realized it's the fast food fries that are getting me. Because you're thinking, oh, it's just a side of fries, it's not that bad. And then I looked up the fries and I'm like, it's here, not a. Oh, they don't even list it on their thing. Let's see. Yeah, wow, okay. I was gonna show you guys, but they don't. Here you go, Chick-fil-A fries. So Chick-fil-A fry. Oh, come on. A small fry is 320. But large fries is 600. And then you look at something normal, like the sandwich is 420. So if you have a sandwich and medium fries, the fries are as much as the sandwich. And that's where they get you. You're like, oh, it's just a side of fries, and it's like, no, this is the same amount of calories, most of it fat, from the side dish as from the main.
Now that we had 4 gym badges, it was time to go shopping. Yeah, money! We got the Razor Claw to help boost Valiant's crit rate, and gave our Muscle Band to Moth, who is definitely a physical attacker.
They are delicious. Also, hi Thomas.
Just like the rest of our team.
Yeah, I noticed this. A lot of Turo's Pokemon are physical, and by a lot I mean all of them. All of them are physical attackers. I think that was a problem in a previous run. I think Katie also only had physical attackers, so I was like concerned. I'm like, this is gonna be a problem, isn't it?
Anyways, our next stop was Medali, which meant even more walking through the desert. This time we decided to battle some of the trainers near Porto Marinata, which got Larvitar to evolve, as well as that Focus Ash item from the League rep near town. And let me tell you gamers, this is like the most useful item in the run, because it functions like Sudowoodo's sturdy ability. The Pokemon will survive with 1 HP and will not get one shot, which will give a lot more Pokemon a chance to shine. Our strategy against Larry was to lead with Hands since he's got that super effective fighting type move, but his Drowsy Kamala got to put our muscle.
I do like my music
sleep.
choice in this.
We managed to finish off the lead before that happened, but sadly, our lead became the punching bag for Larry's Dudunsparce. Next, we followed up with Gallade, who also knew a fighting type move, allowing us to one-shot the Middlemon, and that left Larry with just his Staraptor, which could easily one-shot us with an Aerial Ace. Probably could've just terastallized here to take less damage, but hindsight 2020. Anyways, we followed up with Thorns, which is extremely bulky thanks to that Eviolite, and decided to spam Screech in order to cut down Staraptor's defenses. And then we used Smackdown to deal a bit of damage, and the rest was all up to Moth. A weak little bug against an overpowered normal bird. And of course, we decided to terrestrialize here into a bug type because, I don't know, I genuinely don't know what I was thinking during this battle. We got hit with a super effective arrow ace but survived with 1 HP thanks to the focus sash, and then we attacked with our strongest move, Leech Life, meaning for once, the bug had the real advantage, although I definitely didn't have to dunk on Lyria like this. I'm sorry, pal. The good news—
You know, in hindsight, I think I terrestrialized into a bug type so I could make sure it does enough damage to actually knock out, because this thing doesn't have the best stats, and I know it basically gives me double stab, so like 50% more damage.
For us is that we could now go catch a flying type of our own as well, Delibird, a Pokemon that's giving me a bad case of the Mandela effect. If I were to—
The amount of Mike Wazowski moments...
I'm sorry, pal. The good news for us is that we could now go catch a flying type of our own as well, Delibird.
Like... The one bad thing about having not Makuhita, but this guy is half the times I send him out into battle, dude just covers up the whole screen, and I'm like, no, the visuals, come on, video game.
A Pokemon that's giving me a bad case of the Mandela effect. If I were to ask you, what color does shiny Delibird have? And you answered blue, just like I did?
Right, the amount of random comments I got about, hey, this happened in like the anime, but they're all like different parts of the anime. No one has agreed that it's from the same part. So it seems like other people vaguely remember a blue Delibird from somewhere, but they don't actually know from where it shows up. If you ask competitive, Delibird doesn't exist there either. Yeah, I got like 500 different like responses about the Delibird being blue, and none of them agreed on where it actually came from. So I'm like, maybe I don't know. I feel like there was one at some point.
You'd be surprised to find out that in fact the shiny Delibird was never blue. It was always this weird purple color. Yet I have a very strong memory of seeing a blue Delibird, and I can't even find any.
You know what they should do? They should just introduce a second shiny version. Like there's the common shiny and the rare shiny. Because I remember they added like there's one that like does like circle sparkles versus star sparkles or something like that for the shiny Poke. They should just do a second shiny version. Just be like, this is the common shiny, and then the other one is the rare shiny, and that's the cool color. That's where we get the blue Delibird and the purple Kecleon.
Clues of this online. Did a blue Delibird ever exist? You guys let me know in the comments, please. Anyways, weird tangents aside, it was time to battle Rhyme. We decided to lead with Bundle and Thorns, setting up a layer of spikes and then using Crunch to damage the Bayonet. Rhyme's team wasn't doing too much damage.
And I'm just thinking of Pokemon's longevity, you know? It's like people have already completed their living shiny decks, and now they're gonna have a living rare shiny decks where they try to get the rare shiny color. Yeah, blue Staravia. That's a great way to give us a blue Staravia. And then they could do the Kanto birds. They could give them the coloration of like Moltres, you know. We got okay, Miyabi, get out of here. You know how the Galarian Miyabi, okay, thank you. Like this version has the Kanto colors, but they should make the Kanto one have the same coloration as the other version. So like this would be the normal shiny, and then they'd have the rare shiny that's this color. They should hear me out. I'm cooking on this one.
Damage to us, so we decided to set up a second layer of spikes and finish off her first ghost. She followed up with Houndstone, which vanished into thin air, so we decided to double down on the Mimikyu, breaking its disguise and crunching its claws. Sadly, her Houndstone Shadow Force was payback, knocking out our bundle, so no more savings for us. Rhyme terrestrialized her ace and went after Thorns, but that Eviolite item was good at keeping us alive. We returned a favor with a Crunch, which managed to one-shot, which left her with just a Ghost Dog. Instead of playing fetch though, it loves to hide. The following turn it finally got to take out Thorns, but it was left wide open for the aggressive Pets of Hands, which quickly ended the battle. Having claimed 6 badges, it was time to once again go to the other side of the map for the next gym. But in order to get to Alfornada, you have to get through this giant cave, and inside the cave, you find our last teammate for this
Patcharon song. Yeah, I think people really like the Blueberry Academy Synchro Machine thing. Like I've seen so many videos of people doing like, oh, I hide as a shiny Pokemon. Let's see if I can trick my friends or stuff like that, just doing hide and seek. It seems like a very fun mechanic. And they could do it for puzzles, yeah. So it's like, oh, maybe you need a Diglett or another small Pokemon that can dig underground to uncover certain items and stuff like that are hidden in caves. Like, I think that would be good. It might be tedious, but I think, you know, with good game development, it could be fixed so that it's not tedious and it's actually very fun. Which did you have more fun making, Turo or Sada? Definitely Turo, because it took a long time, but I don't know. I feel like this is like the best I could do at the moment. You know, it just felt good finishing it. I'm sorry, pal. Made it sound like Mike Wazowski. Mike Wazowski. Yeah, and the Let's Go games, they did allow you to play as Pikachu and Eevee, but there was like one small section, and I feel like they could definitely expand on that and be like, this is just a core part of the game, where there's like random items and then you just need to play as the Pokemon, control the Pokemon to get the stuff.
Run. They know. This Pokemon has me extra worried since its final evolution doesn't happen until level 60.
Yeah, I was very concerned about this. This is the main reason why I chose to use held items for this run. To be perfectly honest, I'm like,
4. But the cap for Gita, the region's champion, is 62. Meaning we'll be fighting Miss Top Champion here with a Pokemon that isn't even fully evolved. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. For now, let's focus on the next gym. In our battle against Tulip, we once again decided to bundle together several layers of spikes for her team. Then it was time for Moth to shine again, since bug type moves are super effective.
Nah, Pink Butterfree and also that Crystal Onyx, they're all just the rare shiny versions of Pokemon. It would fix so many Pokemon problems if you think about it.
Here. The bad news was that we were too slow for the Gardevoir and too simp to one-shot it with a super effective critical hit. What? Oh, right, I forgot that Gardevoir's newly added fairy type.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hit it with super effective. I'm like, why is this not super effective? It just does one-time damage because it's also fairy.
Makes it take normal amounts of damage from dark type moves, so it wasn't super effective. Still, we managed to finish it off the next turn, but we were once again—
My brain is still coded in like the Gen 2 days, so I'm like still I'm forgetting that fairy's a thing at times, and I'm like, why is this normal type Pokemon not taking damage? And I'm like, oh, they made it a fairy. That's why. New since the 3DS. I know, but hear me out. It's only been around for like 3 to 4 generations, and I've played all the generations. So for the majority of my Pokemon experience, fairy type has not been a thing. Might not be the case for you gamers, but it is the case for me.
and too slow, so Tulip's Spathra could finish us off. Thankfully, Thorns was bulky enough to take her psychic attacks and strong enough to finish it off with a couple of crunches, leaving Tulip with just her ace, which is pretty—
The music in Scarlet and Violet, chef kiss. Definitely big improvement over Sword and Shield's music, that's for sure. Not to say Sword and Shield didn't have some bops, but like, this has a lot more bops.
Threatening. It's got a super powerful fairy type move, and her physical dark type attack wasn't quite strong enough to one-shot, which means that our new team member, the Emo Dinosaur, has to carry here. We terrestrialized into a dark type, survived a super effective Moonblast thanks to that Focus Sash again, and finished off the battle with a powerful crunch. Truly a scuffed victory, but a victory nonetheless. And that meant just one more gym badge to get. But before we run up Glaciado Mountain, I decided to take a different route and ran into some pretty weird environmental effects. I know it's supposed to be snowing in this area, but for some reason it felt extra sparkly and a bit out of place. Not sure if it's a glitch or intended, but
I didn't know this was a thing. People were like diamond dust. I'm like, was this a JoJo term? Like, was the JoJo terminology coming in here? Apparently it happens like on a birthday, or like, I don't know when I was recording this like in May, so I have no idea. I have no idea why it happened, but this was not intentional either. I was like, it's probably just another glitch, I shouldn't talk about it. I was like, you know, it looks pretty cool, I'll just mention it. And then learning that it's like a special thing that barely happens, I was like, oh, this is kind of fitting for the last video. Unintentional, but like very fitting.
but I thought it looked a bit cool, so I just wanted to share. Anyways, time to battle Grusha. Just like the usual, we try to set up a bunch of spikes, but this time around his lead Pokemon managed to one-shot us. We followed up with Thorns, which could return the one-shot favor, to which Grusha responded with Cetitan, who said no you to our no you, knocking out our Pokemon in a one-shot as well. It was time to stop this one-shot charade, so we followed up with Hands, who finally didn't end the battle in one hit, which to be honest isn't a great thing, but it makes it a bit more fun. Unfortunately, fun is simply unbearable for Grusha, who used Icicle Crash to flinch Hands and then finished him off the next turn. We sent out Moth next, which used its Flame Wheel to do some decent damage, but took a big hit from an Earthquake and then got finished off with an Aqua Jet before we could do anything else. I should have sent out Valiant earlier to be honest, but I didn't think he was fast enough. I thunk wrong. Since Grusha turned his ace Pokemon into a pure Ice type, we could just attack it with Sacred Sword and finish it off in one blow, getting us the final gym badge needed to challenge the Elite Four. Way to go, Turo.
Oh hey, another talking Pokemon.
Wait, Grusha, you remember me too?
No, we've never met before.
The boy clearly said another.
That's right. Say, you aren't going to turn to ice too, are you?
Turn to ice? Not stone? No, I will not. But I'd appreciate it if you could take us to the one that did.
I'd rather not.
And why is that?
I'm scared that if I go back there, I might turn to ice too.
You're a lot more cowardly than I remember. Wait, did that talking Pokemon give you a gift by any chance?
I don't think so, but it is kind of creepy that you're asking all these super specific questions.
Sorry, didn't mean to scare you like that, but could you at least tell us a bit more about this other talking Pokemon?
Sure. I was just stepping out for a walk yesterday morning when a little gimme ghoul suddenly got in my way and asked for directions.
Sounds like the Pokemon we're looking for. So, where did he want to go?
Top of the mountain.
That sounds like quite the long walk.
It was, and I should have known better than to join him for the hike. My leg still hasn't fully recovered from that incident.
Wait, you went all the way to the top of the mountain?
Yeah, it was almost noon by the time we made it up there, and as soon as we did, there was some sort of earthquake. Then the Pokemon turned to ice.
Did anything else happen?
I don't think so. Maybe some sort of eclipse? 'Cause everything got darker, even though there wasn't a single cloud in the sky.
Say, boy, what color is my tie?
So I don't know if I chose the right example for this. I was thinking Ace Attorney a bit. You're like, oh, let's show some evidence to be like, yeah, this guy's lying a little bit. But basically, if everything's dark, you can't really perceive colors much. So that's why I thought, oh, this is a good test. I don't know if purple blue is the best fit, but that's what I went with. I was thinking, like, in general, like, there's a lot of like fish that are very pretty colored, but then they live in parts where you can't even see color. And so then I'm like, why do they have all this color if you can't see it? And then you shine a light on them and like, ooh, this is so pretty. That's kind of what I was going for. But yeah, when it's dark, you can't really see color as much. Pay attention to that next time you turn off the lights. Also, hello, short boy.
I don't know. Blue, maybe?
Sounds like everything is still a lot darker for you than usual. This tie is clearly purple. You'd only confuse the colors if you aren't perceiving enough light. Given the information we've collected so far, I'd say he did, in fact, receive a gift from the talking Pokemon too, just like Miss Iono.
Iono? I knew I should have messaged her about it, especially with all the videos she's been posting about these talking Pokemon.
Then why didn't you, boy?
'Cause it's embarrassing, old man. I don't want her to know that I'm a friendo. And what if she accidentally leaked our DMs in one of her streams? Then the whole world would know.
So you just care about your image?
Yeah, people look up to me because I'm cool and collected. And I'm scared to let them down, you know? Can you imagine how disappointed they'd be if they found out I like watching someone as hyper as Iono?
So you're scared of letting down absolute strangers?
Alright, enough of this, you two. Turo, this is your second strike. You gotta stop picking fights with people.
But if he had informed Iono, we could have gotten here sooner. And what if there's a bunch of other cowards like him, withholding important information on Tarapagos? If this boy is so concerned about the...
Well, yeah, you can see the video fine because there's a light coming out from your phone. You really like the Gordy video. Oh, I'm glad you liked it. It's not quite bioluminescence, no. It's a bit different. One thing I'm noticing is that, because I kind of went with the whole curses theme for this, because there wasn't much going on in the region, is it's a bit too dark and gloomy compared to season 1. Like season 1's more like fun and poppy, and this one's more like dready. And I'm not sure if I like it as much personally. I think that's why I like season 1 better. So I just need to be more considerate of like the themes I choose for future seasons, because I think I just went too much focused on the negative stuff of like curses, and I don't know, it just felt like more of a downer, and it could have been a lot more fun.
Kind of role model he's being, then he should at least be a good one, not this.
Oh my gosh, Turo, cut him some slack. It sounds like Grusha got the power of fear, so it's probably extra hard for him to do these kind of things right now.
No, he's right.
He is?
I am? See?
Iono and I have been colleagues for a long time. Long before I met this talking Pokemon.
Yeah, now you're also right there, Matt. With there's just too much complexity. There's like curses, time travel, a Pokemon we've never met. I am. See, I like that part. Yeah, it was. I'm glad you prefer the second season to Venus. I'm glad you do enjoy it. Tell me what you do like about it, though. I'm very curious.
And I never once had the courage to tell her that I like her content, even though I've been a fan long before she got popular.
Okay.
I just didn't want to ruin people's image of me, even if it meant I couldn't talk to others that I thought were cool. But what that old man just said, it really struck a chord with me, you know?
I thought he was just being a hater.
Maybe, but he's definitely right about one thing. If I'm going to be scared of ruining the image people have of me, then that image better be a good one. Because what's scarier than letting people down is leading people astray.
Bro.
So even though I'm kind of terrified right now, let me make up for my mistake. I'll take you to the spot where that talking Pokemon turned to ice.
Great. And while we walk there, how about I tell you everything that's happened so far?
Wow, your story sounds pretty cool. Anyways, we're here.
Thanks, Grusha. Also, that's definitely a crystal and not ice.
Sorry. Everything looks kind of dark, so it's hard.
So I did forget to mention why I chose Grusha instead of the others. So there's, the 4 gym leaders for part 1 and then the 4 gym leaders for part 2. And I basically chose the first gym leader for each part. So Iono and Grusha. That's why I was Grusha for this. Also the last gym leader, that way there's a bit of spacing. So people who just want to see the challenge run part can see the challenge run part without too much conversations in between.
Hard to tell.
That's alright. We found what we were looking for. Now then.
Listen, boy. No, man. I take back what I said about you. It took me years to overcome the hatred that flowed through my mind thanks to this curse. Yet in one short conversation, you managed to brave through the fear that's flooding yours.
It sounds kinda cool when you put it that way. But in reality...
Yeah, I was also thinking about Kofu, but then also popularity-wise from the second set of trainers, it's like Grusha by far did better than everyone else. So like people probably like Grusha the most. I thought people liked Larry, but like people did not like Larry. Which is funny. I was looking at my analytics and like the Larry video has like the least amount of drop off. Here, I'll pull this up while we
I just
watch
found
the
a bigger
combo.
fear that's happened to set me on a better path. Speaking of which, this Terapagos sounds like quite the scary foe. So if the two of you need some backup, please, let me know.
Huh. It seems like we've found ourselves another reliable ally.
Another?
Iono is also helping us out.
Iono?
Who do you think asked her to help find all this info on all these talking Pokemon and Terapagos?
I see.
We didn't just scare you away again, did we?
No. Okay, maybe a little, but I want...
Alright, so just to show you guys. So YouTube Analytics gives me this thing. It's called the top moments. So it's basically like where people watched for more than usual. And it's just the whole the whole video. The whole video is highlighted as better than usual. And then, I'll go to like Grusha and it's like, yeah, this one segment's doing better. And then I'll go to like a theory video and it's like, yeah, this one segment's alright. Same for Kofu. It's like, yeah, but the gameplay. And then I go to Larry and it's like just the whole video. Like, Explain to me why this didn't do that well then. Like, viewership wise. If people like watching this longer than usual, why is this not being pushed out to people? Explain it to me, YouTube. Explain it. It doesn't make any sense. Because this is what they're pushing out. They're pushing out Turo and Gita. I like how Oleana's in here, even though the game's like 5 years old at this point. But yeah, apparently the Turo video is being... Not Turo, the lady video is being watched a lot. It's just not... I don't know. Make it make sense.
Attaboy. We'll be sure to call you when the time is right.
Cool, I'll be ready.
Now then, let's go prepare for the final trial.
Before making our way to the Elite Four,
Nah, it's not based on the voice actors. I mean, I honestly, I kind of wanted to just have all of them back for the final video, but then I was like, nah, it's gonna be too much. There's too many characters to juggle.
Tura and I needed to train up a bit more, so it was time to hit the flower field to the north one last time. We made the most effective butter mayo sandwich, and then went after any Chansey or Blissey that wasn't smart enough to run away. This gave us enough experience points to level up our team by 10, and evolve both Torns and Jugulas, which is apparently taken from the Latin word Jugulum, which means neck. The future form of this thing is just Iron Neck.
Also, question for transitions, are you guys okay with like the just the random cool facts I found while like doing research for the video? Because a lot of times, this is something I've talked about in the previous review streams, is I don't like it when I just jump from gym to gym to gym, but a lot of the times there just isn't anything that happens in between, so I think it's like a good opportunity to do like a little bit of like, hey, here's a fun fact about a thing, or I talk about a thing. I don't know if it just comes off as random, but I like having something in between the gym fights. They help break up the pacing, yeah. As opposed to others with less strong feelings where people might give them a chance but not watch the whole thing, I suppose. Wait, what about Hear Me Out? See, I basically am stuck to doing series that are on the Switch because I don't have a way to record other games. I mean, I do have a way, but like I don't want the Nintendo ninjas on me, and a lot of the people who get away with it, they already have a lot of viewership, so they could probably hire a lawyer if they needed to. I could not afford a lawyer, so I'm like, I'd have to be all ace attorney and represent myself, which is a horrible idea. So I'm like, I'd rather not mess with the Nintendo ninjas. Yeah, no sailing the high seas for me. No, thank you. I've thought about it. Because I have access to, let's say, a certain game where Cramorant is in it and should not be in, and I absolutely love it. But I'm like, I don't know if I could make a video on this, or if like Pokemon would like instantly nuke me. So...
but Jugulas definitely sounds cooler. Anyways, it was time to take on the Elite Four. Our strategy against Rika was to smash her ground-type Pokemon with hands, but her Donphan shook up those plans with a critical hit. We tried to continue the sweep with Valiant and his Leaf Blades, but the Elephant was just too sturdy, and her Dugtrio decided to sucker punch us. So it was finally time for Bundle to do something other than set up spikes. This time it would go on the offensive, using the Ice Spinner move we got from Grusha, allowing it to one-shot the Dugtrio and deal major damage to the Eclair. Rika tried to Toxic Stall us for some reason, but we had a clause against that in the fine print, not enough to opt out of this bundle. Poppy was up next, and for once, I had zero struggles against her. We set up Belly Drum with hands, which maxes out our attack stat and cuts our HP in half, but Poppy wasted her first turn setting up Stealth Rock, which meant we could just go ahead and Drain Punch through her whole team, including the bulky Corviknight and the overpowered
This
Kirby.
felt so
Roy,
satisfying. That felt so satisfying. You just belly drum and punch.
A lot more trouble than usual, probably because we embarrassed him with the bug early in this run. We decided to lead with Bundle again since the Ice Spinner move is super effective against his lead, Tropius. For some reason, he decided to follow up with Altaria, which is another Pokemon that has a 4x weakness to Ice-type moves. Finally, a Pokemon that makes sense. A little too much sense if you ask me. We decided to try Hands next since it knows Ice Punch, but sadly it got one-shot by Brave Bird as well. Moth was back for a rematch, and just like last time, Staraptor failed to one-shot to thanks to the focus sash, and then it knocked itself out with recoil. Larry sent out his Oricorio next, and we responded with Thorns, which could easily one-shot with a stone edge. However, Thorns has a 4x weakness against fighting type moves, and that's exactly what Larry decided to use next. We followed up with Jugulus, who happens to have a 2x weakness to fighting type moves, but it was also holding the Eviolite to super boost its defenses, allowing it to survive one attack and use Scary Face to slow down the Florida Bird. There are speed limits, Floridians. You know who you are. Turns out that made...
Whenever we go to Florida, people go like 20 to 30 above the speed limit. I'm like, what is wrong with you gamers? Also, thank you for the German lesson. I do appreciate it. I do want to learn German at some point. I just don't know when instead of. It seems like a fun language to learn. But then I'm like, I only ever go to like the Lufthansa airport. And they speak English there, so like... How come you only evolved one time in this series? So two reasons. Lore reason, the character just doesn't like to fight, so prefers to stay as a cute little Pokemon that doesn't fight, like doesn't have much fight power to begin with. Logistics, it's expensive to get art for the second Pokemon or third Pokemon if it evolves twice. So, it's expensive and then lore-wise. So, there you go.
Made us fast enough to attack first, almost knocking out Larry's ace, but since it lived with a few HP, it got to take us out, before dying to the effects of Sandstorm. And since we still had Valiant in the party with full HP, that was another victory for me. Before going on to fight Hassel, we decided it was finally time to let Moth evolve. After all the level...
And I also made it our one special attacker because everything else is a physical attacker and I needed a special attacker for that Avalugg.
Cap was now slightly above its evolution level, and that also meant we could switch up our items a bit, giving our newly evolved Pokemon the Wise Glass
for special attack, giving the Wise Glasses for special attack because we do not have a special attack.
Glasses for more special attack, and slapping that Focus Sash onto Jugulus. I would have kept the Eviolite, but considering Hassel uses strong dragons, a guaranteed survive sounded like the...
I don't know about Hydreigon, but the baby version does like crunch and stuff, so it's more physical.
Better option. We continue to lead with Bundle, who has once again just become our one-trick deli, using Ice Spinner to instantly knock out Noivern. Out next was Haxorus, and we responded with Thorns, which causes a Sandstorm and can bulk through a super effective attack, and also could deal some decent damage with Ice Fang. However, it is not immune to flinching, so down it goes. Thankfully, Moth is fast enough to finish off the Haxorus and has a Psychic type move to take care of the Poison Seahorse Dragon. Its Bug Buzz attack was powerful enough to one-shot Flapple, leaving out Hassel with just his ace. Moth was still fast enough to land the first hit, but it barely did any damage and then got one-shot by the Frosty Dragon. We followed up with Jugulus, who could tank through one move thanks to the Sash, and used Scary Face to slow the dragon down so that the rest of the team could potentially attack first and do some damage. It was time to go all out, so we sent out Valiant, Terrastalize into a Psychic type for an extra buff, and then used Psycho Cuck to... 1 HP. Lucky for us, we still had an extra hand around, using Knock Off to slap that 1 HP out of Hassel's grasp. Having conquered the Elite Four, Tura and I could finally challenge...
Yeah, thank you, Matt. I appreciate. I hope you have a good day. Zwelius has Hustle and it's physical damage oriented, Hydreigon specially oriented. Also, hi, I'm here. Hi, Michael.
And see if he has what it takes to become champion. While Guido was busy setting up random reflects, we used bundled
extra hands. I like the little... I did that while I was recording. I was just like, it slaps it away, so I just did like a clap, and I'm like, this kind of fits, so I kept it. I might do more of the me-made sound effects for future videos because I like it. I think it adds a bit of like extra personality, like the and the slap.
To layer on some spikes for the rest of her team. Then we followed up with Moth, who set up a Quiver Dance to boost its stats. Whoops, I forgot that she had that ability, but nothing to worry about since we can resist her attacks and then one-shot the next turn. And with the setup complete, it was smooth sailing. We used Heat Wave to burn away her King Gambit, Bug Buzz to make Veluza buzz off, another Heat Wave to melt her Avalugg, and another Bug Buzz to make her Go-Goat go away. Her Glumora actually managed to survive one attack and even finished off Moth with with a single sludge wave, but at this point she was in such a bad corner that I could send out a not fully evolved Jugulus, have it survive with 1 HP, and then finish off her best Pokemon with a simple crunch. So to answer the question of could Turo actually become champion, at least Turo in the past, and the answer is absolutely yes, as long as you can use health items. Otherwise, he does not stand a chance. That Eviolite and Focus Sash definitely helped us turn the tides of too many battles, but were definitely necessary for this run considering how odd Turo's team is.
You done talking trash yet?
Sorry about that.
And then from here, we hit the movie section. The rest of this is all movie. And we're only 35 minutes in. Yeah, this is why Volcarona got banned. It makes sense, so we have, what, 45 minutes of movie to go through.
So who here knows something about Tarapagos?
Here? No one.
But you said that we could find someone who knew if I could make it to the champion rank, and I did, so where are they? You didn't lie to me, did you?
Of course not, but the person who knows isn't here. We just needed the rank so that the Pokemon League can't stop us from getting to where they are.
And where is that exactly?
Area 0.
Doing a little bit of Casey Neistat transitions there. I'm like, let's just show some visual of the area with music. A little bit of vlogger influence. Also, hello, Sammy. I hope you're doing good.
Well, if it isn't my deadbeat husband and that clingy talking Pokemon that won't take a hint.
And who are you?
Ah, come now, Turo. Surely you haven't forgotten about me already? It's only been, what, 10 years since you left?
I will not ask a third time. Who are you?
It's me, Sada, your lovely wife.
You really think I can't recognize my own wife? You may look like her and sound like her, but you...
So I don't know if anyone noticed the outfit change. I think I mentioned this before. there was definitely an outfit change for Turo here, because he thought he was gonna get to see Sada soon. So he's like, let me look nice. So he's back in the lab code version.
Are not my Sada.
I didn't think you'd be this sharp.
Where is she?
Aw, I can tell you dressed up in everything, just to see
I hinted it here with the Sada just in case people weren't noticing.
her. But unfortunately for you, Sada isn't here right now.
Then where is she?
Why so serious, Turo?
I am not here to play games with a filthy imposter. I don't know what you are or what you're doing here, but you will tell me where to find my wife right now.
She always did like how assertive you are. Fine, I'll answer some of your questions. Just remember to take deep breaths, okay? I am Sada's trusty robot assistant, running on an AI constructed from her memories. She built me after you abandoned her. After all, if her dear husband betrayed her, the only person she could trust in this sad, cruel world was herself.
Stop dancing around the question, robot. Where is my Sada?
Ugh, you're no fun. No wonder Terapagos doesn't like you. Sada happened to find a little talking mouse Pokemon, poking its nose where it does not belong, and since he convinced her that our time machine is broken, which it is not, she decided to go and try fix it.
Talking mouse Pokemon? That's the last me.
Correct. This is the third time you've waltzed into our lab. Uninvited, I might add.
Well, it wouldn't have happened if you stopped throwing me into your time machine.
Whatever do you mean? We've only sent you back.
So remember, this is the Iono timeline. So the 3 times are Mareep, the mouse, and Ogerpon. And the only time that Sada sent you back in time in this timeline is just the one time you were a Mareep. So from her perspective, she's like, what is going on?
Back once. Yet somehow how it made 2 of you? And you're speaking all sorts
Oh,
of
why so
nonsense,
serious? Yeah.
just like the mouse. No wonder Terapagos doesn't like.
But part of me is like, I don't want to put in too many references to like memes and jokes, because I know some people just won't get them because it requires a lot of media literacy. Like, it's easy to miss jokes if you haven't heard or seen the media. But Turo is Batman confirmed. Yeah.
Like.
Enough idle chatter.
Notice how she said for both of them, no wonder Terapagos doesn't like you.
You will take us to Sada.
And if I refuse?
Then we'll have to use force.
Well then, be my guest. I'm sure my roaring moon will have a fun time tearing through your team. But let's take this elsewhere. I'm sure you don't want to accidentally destroy your dear Sada's research. Follow me.
Ogre, have your cudgel at the ready. If she tries anything funny, you know what to do.
That won't be necessary.
Oh, really?
Of course.
See, Lee, we solved this problem by never becoming a mousehold. And this is gonna be a challenge if I do a season in Kanto, because there's no held items, so there's no Everstone. So I'd have to pick something that doesn't evolve, otherwise I'm gonna be stuck trying to mash the B button. There's just things for me to consider.
I may not be your Sada, but I am just like her. I would never intentionally hurt you. If anything, I might just be eager to show you the fruits of our research. Now come.
You're taking us to the time machine, aren't you?
Quite the lovely place for a conclusive battle, wouldn't you say? Now then, let us begin.
The battle started out as Mirror Moth versus Ancient Moth. We set up a quiver dance to boost our stats, and AI Sada attacked us with a lunge to lower our attack. Then we went to the offensive with Psychic, but since her Moth survived with 1 HP, it got to hit us again and lower our speed this time. Thankfully, we were still fast enough to finish it off the next turn. She followed up with Flutter Mane, which had a rock type move, and as we all know, Moth weak to rock. We send out Hands next, which could use its Heavy Slam to make this thing go extinct. It even managed to do some major damage to the Screen Tail, although this thing likes to play rough. We followed up with Bundle that did some chip damage, and then Thorns, who finally finished it off. Her Brute Bonnet was also a bit tricky since it could use Giga Drain to steal some of our health.
So there was a Peturant fight in the Turo and the Teal Mask, but since I decided not to do that, there is no Peturant fight.
However, it wasn't stealing enough to survive the onslaught of super effective Ice Fang attacks. We didn't have much HP left to do more with Thorns, but that just means that Jugulus would get to enjoy its one single battle in its fully evolved form. This 3-headed dragon is pretty bulky, being able to take several hits like a champ, and pretty strong too, using Earth Power twice to finish off the Sandy Shocks. That left Sada with her prehistoric dragon, who instantly one-shot our Hydra, leaving Turo with just his ace as well. Roaring Moon got to attack us first, but Valiant survived with just a few HP to spare, then launched a Sacred Sword in return, landing a critical hit and instantly one-shotting AI Sada's last Pokemon, getting us the win.
According to Sada's memories, you were never that good at Pokemon battles. So how did you get so strong?
Everything I did for Sada's sake. If she was stuck down here thanks to the influence of some super strong Pokemon, then I simply had to become stronger, and so I did.
You barely beat me in a battle. Do you seriously think you can beat a Pokemon like Terapagos?
No, but he can.
So, that's why Terapagos wanted me to get rid of you.
Wait a second. Does that mean that the time machine failure wasn't just an unexplained accident?
Correct. I was tempering with its functionality.
Yeah, I don't know what ability this Gallade had, to be honest. I didn't look. Let's see. It could have sharpness or steadfast. I think it did have sharpness. Increases power of slicing moves, yeah. Pretty sure. Also, yeah, good idea with the stone evolutions. The problem with Eevee is that Eevee doesn't show up until after like the 4th gym in the game. So like I need an early game Pokemon that doesn't evolve. Like Clefairy, maybe? I don't know. It's a lot to think about. I'm not gonna worry about it for now.
Behind the scenes, in the depths below Area Zero. And Sada was none the wiser. After all, she would never doubt me, for she trusts herself completely. All I had to do was tell her that nothing was wrong. And that was that, up until the mouse showed up anyways.
The other me.
The depths under Area Zero? That's where Sada went?
Oops. Did I let that slip? Fine. Yes, you're right. That elevator there can go even deeper than the room we're currently in. It leads all the way down to a cave below the Great Crater.
No, Seth drew Ogrepon and the Terapagos. So I came in clutch for this finale. I did not have any art ready for any of this stuff. And Seth was like, yo, I got you. I was like, really? Like, yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're the best. Thank you so much.
There, we store the crystals that help this time machine function, as well as the true treasure of Paldea.
Wait, something's off. Why are you cooperating all of a sudden?
Well, you did win our battle, fair and square. But also,
What is that sound?
The time machine?
you catch on fast, but not fast enough, boys.
What are you doing?
Simple. I have in my possession the Indigo Disc, the only key that lets you access the place where Sada went. And now, with the help of this here time machine, I'll be
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Michael. Also, notice how everything turned red. Because it's the Paradise Protection Program.
sending myself
The
on a one-way
PvP.
trip to the distant past. A place where you dare not venture, for you'll be forever lost to the sands of time. Even the ogre would become a fossil. A fossil!
I don't know if anyone noticed this, but this was AI Sada trying to give a hint about where she's gonna put the disc. Cause she is built from Sada's memory, so she does kind of care about, you know, Turo and Sada being okay. And even though she can't say no to the Terapagos at the moment, she's gonna try to do everything she can in the past. And since she probably knows a lot about where fossils were found, probably would decided to go put that disc where a fossil she knew would be found would be, so that the disc would be discovered in the future. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Long before he
I don't know if that made any sense, if anyone made that connection at all or not, but
makes it back from that journey. So, do not follow me. Understood?
Wait, no. That means Sada will be locked down there forever.
I am aware, but I must do all I can to protect our paradise. Now, Taro, be a dear, and get back to the elevator, please.
No. Only after I take that disc from your cold, robotic hands.
Stubborn as ever. Unfortunately, I cannot disobey a direct order from Terapagos. I cannot stop this jump, and I cannot give you this disc. So, please, get back to the elevator. You'll be safe there.
Why care about my safety now of all times?
Did you forget already? I'm built from Sada's memories. I may not love you, but I know how much she does. And I do not wish for her to lose you a second time. So please, elevator, now. Ogre!
Fine.
What are you doing? No, let me through. Sada, no, you can't leave. I need that disc.
yeah, Michael, I was like, maybe I should ask you about the time frame, but I whoops.
Please, Sada! Terapagos. Every time I think he's gone too far, he proves me wrong and goes yet further still.
Honestly, yeah, even I didn't think he'd go this far.
And you, why did you have to get in my way?
The time machine was set to 250 million years, Turo, and the return function is definitely still broken.
But my dear Sada went down there to fix it. Maybe once it's working again, we could go back and take the disc?
Who knows how long that'll take, or if she'll even follow through with that plan. You did say she's still brainwashed by Terapagos, right? Wait, did you hear that sound?
The time machine? It's working again. Sada?
yeah.
That ain't Sada.
Another Paradox Pokemon? It seems you're right. Terapagos has other plans for this time machine.
Even further still. How's your team doing?
It's just valiant. With a few HP. I'll have to count on you for this one, Ogre.
Fine by me.
Yeah, basically what Ayasada did is once she got sent to the past, she tried to figure out where Pokemon are that were, you know, found in the fossil record in the present, and then she left the disc with them. That is one of the worst times to exist. Well, she's a robot. She'll be fine. She robot.
I can take at least 100 of these guys with my eye.
Also, I did the movie thing where it's like, oh yeah, you think the main character is about to win, but then there's a major setback, and then they win later.
Eyes closed.
But we don't know how many more will spawn. We need to retreat before you start getting tired.
Fine. I'll hold them off for now. You call in our backup.
Already on it. I suppose I should call her too.
Briar speaking.
Several days later.
I did the SpongeBob thing. You guys wanted the SpongeBob thing? You got the SpongeBob thing. Several days later. Also, I don't know if the introduction of Briar made sense here. I'm like, it's gonna make sense for people who play the DLC, but I didn't really do a good setup of Briar's existence, apart from that trailer episode.
I didn't think he'd push us back this far.
Me neither. It feels like he's brought in a whole country's worth of Paradox Pokemon already.
And we're running out of potions.
Yoo-hoo! The cavalry is here!
Oh, wow. So this is the mysterious Area Zero that my ancestor wrote about?
It does look pretty cool.
Took you long enough.
You could just say thank you.
Fine. Thank you all for coming on such short notice.
See? Not that hard. Now was it, friendo?
Briar, did you find anything on the item we mentioned?
Absolutely. When I went to request my leave of absence from the director, I noticed a very peculiar item hanging on the wall of his office. Serrano was a bit reluctant to part ways with it, but after a whole day's worth of negotiations, he finally let me borrow it. The Indigo Disc.
It does look exactly the same, but what material could resist the forces of nature for such a long time?
Maybe it's a different disc entirely.
As far as I know, this item was discovered by Clay in the mountains of Unova, along with some fossils of Pokemon that lived around 250 million years ago. Unless there was another Indigo Disc in the distant past, this is the item you're looking for.
Then let's hope it still works.
So what's the plan?
We make our way down to the lab
A little bit of Ace Attorney visualizations right here.
at the bottom of Area 0 and try to insert the disc into the control console. In theory, this should grant us access to the depths below via the elevator.
Sounds simple enough.
Except this place is crawling with Paradox Pokemon. The Ogre and I have been fending them off and backing up when their numbers started to grow too large. As you can see, we've been pushed back all the way to the outer edge of Area 0.
I don't like the sound of that.
But now your numbers are bigger too.
2 champion-ranked trainers and a gym leader. I wouldn't say our odds are that much better.
Hey now, don't forget about me.
Did you bring any Pokemon?
No.
This was kind of playing on the fact that Briar just didn't do anything in the DLC. She was just there being excited about Terapagos.
But I did bring all the other supplies you requested.
Whoa, look at all those revives.
Also ethers, the thing that restores PP. That's the other item in here. I didn't mention it in the dialogue, so it's kind of just a little thing for people to notice if they paid attention.
And potions too. Now we might actually stand a chance. Thanks, Briar.
Don't mention it. After all, this might be my only chance to explore Area 0. Now let's go make the most of it.
And so we battled our way through hordes
I like
of
this
Paradox
transition.
Pokemon, slowly making our way back down to the lab at the bottom of Area 0. To our surprise, the console immediately recognized the Indigo Disc and gave us access to the elevator. And after an extremely long ride down, we finally reached our destination. Of course, things didn't get any easier, since there were a bunch of stellar Pokemon roaming around and blocking our way. Iono and Grusha protected Briar, while Tura and I battled the local legends and broke through the crystals blocking our way. We fought battle after battle, until eventually, we reached the very last room in this winding crystal maze.
Is that Sada?
And 2 crystal stakes, the other me.
Whoa! This room is so pretty!
Indeed.
I don't know how much you can see it, but they're there like in the background, so it's like, oh, you're supposed to be able to see them. It's not like complete darkness, but it's like in the background.
Quite the dazzling chamber.
I don't know. Something about it feels a bit too creepy.
Good call, Grusha. We need to be extra careful. Status report.
1 HP, boss!
Same here. And we're all out of healing items.
Even though we overprepared, it was barely enough. But we can't turn back now. I'm down to just my Valiant and the 2 Pokemon I captured in Kitakami. Here, take them just in case.
Whoa, is that a ghost type?
Also, the trainers I chose kind of depended on these Pokemon, because I was like, okay, I'm not going to introduce Karen or Carmen into this series, so I need someone to be using the Ghost and Dragon Pokemon, because they're going to show up in the fight, and it's not going to make sense otherwise. So I'm like, well, what if Turo caught a bunch of extra Pokemon on his journeys, and he had some left over, so he's like, here you go. And then they kind of fit with Turo, Grusha training with the Dragon Clan, and Iono having a ghost because her mom being a ghost trainer. I thought it kind of fits. It fits enough. It cope enough.
Now I can be even more like Mama.
A dragon?
You spar with the Dragon Tamer clan. There's no way you haven't picked up some of their strategies. Now let's go.
Whoa! Look at these giant crystals. They simply look stunning.
And then this is they're cross swords because it's the two mouse. So there's one for each mouse.
Do they not?
I also thought it looked cooler than just one.
Terrestrial energy is spiking. Everyone, be on your guard.
Ah,
Terapagos?
greetings. Turo, Paradox, the 2 of you have been a thorn in my side for much too long. And now you dare invade our paradise? Go after my treasure?
You're one to talk, Terapagos. You took my wife from...
The owl is the VTuber reference. There's the little shark VTuber, that was the way they introduced you, just said ah. So I was like, that would be funny if this guy just shows up and the first thing he says is ah.
me, and now I'm here to take her back.
And you took my other selves. I need them to become whole again.
All sacrifices necessary to protect this paradise. Now leave this place, or I shall deal with you myself.
Not a chance, Terapagos. We're not leaving empty-handed.
Then there's no room to talk. I am sorry, little one, but I'll need to borrow your body for a bit.
I don't know if this transition made sense. Also, I had the rotoscope Briar, cause this is where Carmen is in the cutscene, and I needed a way to have Iono below Briar.
True power of Terapagos? Look at how brilliant it glows.
Ogre, prepare for battle.
You don't have to tell me twice. Iono, back me up.
Let's go!
Thanks for the heals. Looks like Terapagos has some sort of a shield, but I just have to smash it, right? Huh, it's too tough for normal attacks. Then I guess it's finally time to use these powers.
You can terrestrialize without an orb?
It's all thanks to those curses. They've been locked inside the ground for so long that they've absorbed a bunch of terrestrial energy. That way I can transform without any interference from Terapagos here. I'll take this, you terrible turtle.
We did it?
It's not over yet.
Oh no, it's absorbing your terrestrial energy.
Look out!
Not on my watch, you don't. I'm about to drop a super hot take. Rage powder!
Nice going, Iono. That attack could have just knocked me out.
No problemo, friend.
Not me just blurring out. Poor Kieran. He just gets blurred out.
That could have just knocked me out.
No problemo, friendo. But it looks like I'm all out of Pokemon. Grusha, you're up!
Me?
Ha ha ha! Frozen stiff, are we?
It put up another barrier?
It's fine. I broke it once, I can break it again.
But you're taking too much damage.
You're right. Can't hang on for much longer. Come on, Grusha, I need you.
I know, but
I don't know if this scene hit much. This is supposed to be like, oh, Grusha's kind of still struggling with the powers of fear. But then Iono helps out because she has Envy, but like Envy's like fire and he's like ice. Not quite ice, but you know, like fire lights the way, so kind of helps him overcome the fear. Like all the darkness, she's a bit of a light in the darkness. The light that guides all trainers, Glimora.
too scared to move. An unknown enemy. A Pokemon I've never used. I can't do this.
Yes, you can!
Iono?
I've seen the news, you know.
That's
How
why
you had
she's
to
got
quit
the fire on her.
snowboarding after your accident. How you kept going as a gym leader, even though being out on that frosty field caused you a lot of pain. How despite all the darkness and despair the world threw at you, you never stopped showing up to face new challengers. That's why I know you can do this, cause you're the coolest gym leader in all of Paldea!
You think I'm cool?
That's right!
Now that's an image I can't afford to lose.
Now get into the zone, Rendo! Mr. Shocky Sheep needs you!
Go! Hydrapple!
Attaboy.
I guess I should pick.
See, I could have done the Grusha thing, but Grusha isn't full body. Like the Grusha sprites cut out at who drew Grusha? Maitsu. Yeah, Grusha isn't full body, so like Grusha doesn't have knees. Well, Grusha does have knees, but doesn't have feet. So like he would yeah, logistic problem.
Pitch into. Here, our last potion.
Thanks, Briar.
Now what can this dragon do? Oh, let's try this. Dragon Cheer!
Whoa, I'm feeling pumped all of a sudden.
See, here I was too lazy to cut it out. I just kept it in. I'm like, it's like it's too much to rotoscope the mow out, and then I'd be blurring Briar as well. So I was like, nah.
Whoa, I'm feeling pumped all of a sudden. Alright, Terapagos, it's time to go down. I can only do this one more time. Ivy? Kugo!
No, I cannot lose here. I cannot lose my treasure.
But you did lose, Terapagos. And now it's time to take back what is rightfully ours.
Stand back, Turo, or I'll turn your companions to stone.
Will you now?
You fool. Say goodbye to the girl.
Not so fast, friendo! I've got a VPN protecting me, but I won't tell you which one, since they're not a sponsor.
I was low-key hoping that a random VPN would reach out and be like, hi, we want to sponsor you. And I'd be like, I have the perfect place to put you in this video. And then they didn't. They missed the opportunity. So no shout out for any VPNs here.
Envy.
Then the boy.
Not cool. Not cool at all, man.
Fear.
Huh. 8th descendant. No.
She gets sad. She's like, I want to be a part of this. when we're not included.
Cannot harm her, then you leave me no choice. Your precious Sada.
No! Huh?
But how?
You gave her your curse, didn't you, other me?
Even in death you defy me? But no matter. Surely Turo's protection has faded over the past decade.
Hatred.
Do you see now, Terapagos? You are the one who's powerless against us.
No, this can't be. I have failed. I cannot protect this paradise, my treasure.
My dear Sada, you're safe now.
But we don't know if the mind control is gone.
You're right. Terapagos, free her at once.
That I cannot do, because she is my last hope.
I don't know if you guys noticed this, but so this is Terapagos bluffing. Also, I might speed a bit of this up to like a tad later, just because I have to go in like 15 to 20 minutes. So I might skip some of that exposition or go a bit quicker, but
Oh, my own.
This is basically like, hey, why are we fighting? Yeah, Sada must have a grudge. Yeah. I don't know if you guys liked this part, the distant past part. I was like, I need to do something so that it's not just them sitting there and talking for like 20 minutes.
In the distant past,
So I drew a map of. This just looks like Spain. This is just Spain.
giant Pokemon thrived in every region. But as time went on, natural evolution led to smaller and smaller sizes.
I wanted to have more visuals for this, but I realized I just don't have the art skill to make it happen. So I think I need to like learn how to draw if I want to keep doing this long term. Because I can ask other people to draw it, but like it takes them a while, it gets expensive. So it's like I kind of have to do it myself. Or use AI, but I don't want to use AI, so like I have to do it myself.
Until eventually, the Titan.
Yeah, that's a reference to the Hisui Alpha Pokemon. You got the Snorlax, you got the giant Kricketune, and you got the Infernape. It's a reference to the Hisui ones, yeah.
Titanic Pokemon vanished one by one, all except for Terapagos.
That would be you, correct?
Not quite. Unlike other Pokemon, which can have multiple individuals of the same species, Terapagos are cursed to a lonely existence. There can only be one.
But we just battled a smaller Terapagos. Clearly, there's two of you.
Indeed. At the beginning of the world, Terapagos was one creature, stacked upon each other on various scales of magnitude. From top to bottom, it was Terapagos all the way down.
Okay, well, I'm gonna kind of skip this a little bit because this is just exposition. I drew the. So I took a reference of a king sitting in his chair, and I try to have like Greedent motifs. So the little beard is supposed to look like Greedent, and then he has the little. He's supposed to look like Greedent the Pokemon.
This land began a conquest around the globe, extracting resources with similar energies to the look as Galar.
Its inhabitants did not wish to support the gluttony of its king and giant tortoise.
Indeed, many were easily swayed to stand under the flag of Calyrex, who came to stop our invasion.
The king of bountiful.
So I decided to do these drawings because I was like, this is similar to the Ogerpon history one. I don't know if it's not even Googleable, but yeah, it's like it's similar to like this style. That's kind of what I was going for, like this style of art, what they did for the storytelling, and it seemed simple enough. But like I'm not that good at the drawing. But that's kind of what I was going for.
Harvests to the starving people of Paldean.
I cannot draw people though, so like the Pokemon are kind of easy enough.
There was no better leader. Unlike the greedy king, this Pokemon could replenish their food supplies and help them live happy lives free from hunger. If only Calyrex could win.
The king of old had heard this Pokemon had taken on an intergalactic threat in the past.
The Pokemon I thought was you.
The Titan Glaciado stood no chance against your combined powers.
Did you just say Glaciado? Like the mountain?
Wait, does that mean Glaciado's grasp is...
The aftermath of our battle.
Shocky Sheep, you did that?
I was just as surprised as you, my dear child. Alone, neither of those Pokemon stood a chance against
I think the music made it work so much better.
Just like humans. Together, they were unstoppable.
That's right. At first I thought I'd need to use all of the curse's powers to take down the giant turtle, but even then I felt like a Durant trying to whack a giant Carbink with a tiny blade of grass. Then Calyrex decided to pitch in. Using his powers, he got me to Dynamax, just like the Pokemon in Galar.
A relic of the ancient past, when Titanic Pokemon roamed the land.
And just like that, Terapagos and I were now the same size. But it also made the negative emotions from the curses get large too, so I couldn't hold back.
The giant ivy cudgel tore through the sky, with a force stronger than the comet which broke my shell millions of years ago. And then, the force of the impact was so strong that it even knocked me out for a few decades.
Unfortunately, that victory was very bittersweet. Everyone in Paldea witnessed our battle, witnessed my ability to obliterate the Pokemon they once worshipped with a single fell swoop. Their cheers quickly turned to screams, as they realized that an even more
Okay, so then we get
unstoppable
banished.
tyrant-
Alright, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. We get banished. Turo's like, what's going on? He's like, oh, Sada seemed cool, so we let Sada in. And then there's like the whole Petron stuff. Right. Okay. So kind of fast forward a bit, just because low on time. So hopefully we can cover the rest before I have to go.
Tracks. Then you appeared a third time. Was going.
So it's like, oh, everything was going good. Everything was good. Everything is going good. Everything is going according to Keikaku. Keikaku means plan.
Well, until
Me?
I thought the powerful ogre was long gone from this world.
So then this is where kind of the paradox shows up. So from Terapagos' perspective, he met Ogerpon first, then Mareep. No, Ogerpon first, then Fampi, and then Mareep the third time. And he's like, what is going on here?
Yet centuries later, you suddenly reappeared once again, seeking the aid of Tudo. I managed to stop you in your tracks, but then you appeared a third time, and with even more powers than before. Not only that, but I heard them. The rumbles of Sola and the others, all the way down to Cosmos. Every Terapagos in existence was shaking in fear of you.
I don't know if anyone noticed the little eye shakes as well. I hope the eye shakes made sense.
You. Even Terra, who had not spoken in millennia, uttered the words, "You are a paradox." That I cannot permit.
Now that you mention it, those words do sound kind of familiar, but I think I heard them when I was first entering this world, long before any of that stuff happened.
Upon hearing their words, I knew I had to stop you, for I alone had the power to do so, and thus I used up a large reserve of my remaining powers to strike you with the ruinous curses that the old king had sealed within my shell. All of humanity had barely managed to subdue them in the past. Surely one Pokemon, no matter how powerful, would fail to overcome all four at once.
And that's why I was stuck here.
I did not expect you to find this place so soon after your arrival.
Yeah, then he shows up as Mareep
Thankfully,
again.
I had two reliable weapons at my
And
disposal.
Terapagos is freaking out. He's like, this dude just popped in out of nowhere. He's already here.
AI Sada and the time machine. I did not know if it would work, but I had to try something. And so I tried to lock you in a time loop, for if the curses failed, I had no other way of stopping you.
Except it caused the Butterfree effect, which led me all the way back here.
That was not something I had accounted for. It seems like you were powerful enough to defy. You are a paradox. That I could not permit.
Sounds to me like you let fear get the better of you, and that led to...
I thought I'd throw in a little bit of expectation theory. I don't know if you guys have taken econ class yet, but like one of the major things that they talk about in econ is that a lot of things are, at least the way the economy works, is based on expectations. So like if you're like, ah man, the economy's going bad, then you're gonna act as if the economy is going bad, which will in turn make the economy go bad. So this is kind of pulled from like an econ lesson, but it works for life in general. It's like you kind of act based on whatever your expectations are and whatever expectations others have of you. So like if others expect you to, this is a thing I learned in my pedagogy class for being a teacher. You know, like it's very important that you do not have like it's not assumptions. You don't have stereotypes for your students. Because they had done studies, for example, I think there was like a study for like, I think it was African American kids, and they had the stereotype for themselves that they were not like not smart or something stupid like that. It didn't make any sense. So they had them take tests, and if they took a test without basically triggering that stereotype, without asking them like, hey, what's your ethnicity? Like, they never thought about, hey, I'm African American or Asian or whatever the heck they were. I forget the specific study. The one where they didn't trigger the stereotype, they performed better under test, even though it was the exact same test. And the ones where they did trigger the stereotype, they behaved according to the stereotype that they had for themselves. I was like, oh man, that's kind of... dang. So I thought I'd include this in here, because I thought, I don't know, it's just a pretty important, like, human life lesson that, you know, we act according to our expectations.
The self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's why you gotta look on the bright side.
Whatever do you mean?
The thing about people is that we act based on our expectations.
And it seems like you do too, Terapagos.
Oh yeah, it's like even me for this series, it's like, oh man, I think people don't like Scarlet and Violet, so I won't try, and then they won't perform as well, and then it's like, well, I don't think people are gonna watch the video, so I don't try to make it watchable, so then it doesn't become watchable and people don't watch it. It ends up being that kind of self-fulfilling prophecy as well. So it's a very easy trap to fall into, where your expectations will lead to a self-fulfilling prophecy at times. So it's good to have good expectations.
But I am not like you, humans.
Then I guess it applies to all life.
I think things will go well.
Also, hi Pokemaster. Alright, I'm gonna fast forward through this part since I've kind of mentioned what, and Briar's like, okay, we're all friends. And Turo's like, we ain't done here yet. Sada's still asleep.
My Sada is still.
Huh? That voice. Turo?
Sada? You recognize?
The only reason Sada was asleep here, by the way, is because she got the curse of grudge. And the curse was so overwhelming, she just kind of conked out for a bit. So Terapagos didn't do anything to Sada. She was asleep because of the curse. And it was just naturally for her to wake up at around this point. No, because Terapagos likes Sada. He would not hurt Sada. Just like he would not hurt Briar.
What sort of silly question is that? Of course I recognize you.
But you haven't spoken my name ever since you lost your mind.
And then I remember someone asking about how did this break Petruant's curse, and it's like Petruant's curse focuses on positive emotions for the mind control, and the curses are more like negative emotions, but the negative emotion's stronger, so it cancels out Petruant's positive control, essentially.
10 years.
Is mine good and endangered too?
Dude,
Build a robot.
you know.
Like I said,
And she's like, oh, we're all on the same side. And he's like, please take care of the baby. Briar wants to take, Briar's excited about it.
left all alone.
She's like, I want it.
Down here,
Give me.
this cat, the human. What age I want this proposal.
Yeah, but what's in it for me?
I suppose Gem could share.
And then I'm like, what is Jem gonna do in season 3? That's the real question, isn't it?
Some of his powers with you. It could work like some of the blessings you've obtained from the other mythicals.
I was just kidding about that. But great. A nice little bonus, I guess.
So, you will accept?
Well, he's just a little guy, and I know what it feels like to be all lost and alone, thanks to a certain someone. Anyways, yes, I accept. I'll take Jem with me.
Wonderful. I suppose I was wrong about you all along. For I never expected the paradox I've feared.
Not quite confirmed, but I'm thinking about it very much. It's almost confirmed. Almost.
To bring me such joy in my final moments.
May you rest in peace, Paldea.
Way to ruin the moment.
Sorry.
I don't know how long to hold that like moment of silence. I don't know if people cared about Terapagos enough, but yeah. Now I'm doing like a little bit of R&D before deciding on a season 3, because one of my main concerns is that they announced the ZA game to come out in May, and that I just won't have time to do a season 3. It's in a different game, so.
I wanted to take care of this before anything else happens.
The last fragments of your soul.
That's right. Now I'm finally complete again.
Whoa! What's that thing?
Huh, that's the portal.
The portal?
Oh, right. Did I forget to mention that I came here from another world just to see how strong the gym leaders are? Now that my mission is done and my soul is complete, I have to head back home.
But I was hoping we could make some more videos together.
And I was hoping you'd come hang out in the mountains.
Unfortunately, I cannot stay. But maybe Ayano could go to the mountains and make some videos with you, Grusha.
Oh, guess I'd be down for that.
Yay, me too! The friendos are gonna love it.
I was hoping to do more research on our little.
Basically, the whole reason the portal wouldn't work is because there were like a bunch of different forms, and the portal can only grab one. So it's like, it has to be all in one. Can't be pulling in rocks and stuff.
Little gem here, but I guess
I'll fast forward through this bit as well because it's just random talking about potential Turo in the Hoenn region. What about Gem? Gem gets to come along. Gem's a new power.
Absolute genius. You're quite the lucky one, Sada.
Yeah. Just don't get any idea.
Yeah, well, it's not that it's another being, it's the same being is split into several parts. So it's like, imagine you try to pull in a magneton, but you only have 2 of the magnemites that make up its body, and you're like, how are we gonna put this thing together? It's better to not.
It's about my Turo.
Anyways, I must give you my thanks once more. Vasko, if it weren't for your help, I never would have gotten her back.
No problem, Turo. Besides, you've helped me out a lot too. You just don't remember it since it was in a different timeline. So, consider this even.
You never cease to amaze.
Anyways, it looks like that's gonna be it for me. I'll always treasure the memories we've made together. Dovijdane, skapi priateli.
And then, I don't know if anyone noticed this, but in the main game, we never get the way home completed. We never get this. All the other quests get a completion. This is the one quest that doesn't, so I thought this is a good opportunity for it to be completed.
So you went all
And then this is the same scene, like the same road that they use in the end sequence where the rivals are all talking to each other.
around the world trying to find a way to save me?
And I hated every bit of it because you weren't by my side. No one was.
Well, you are kind of grumpy.
Grumpy Gramps! Grumpy Gramps!
Gramps. I don't think Arvin's old enough for that to happen.
Who's Arvin?
I like that joke so much. This is the whole reason he got called Grumpy Gramps is to set up for this joke. Who's Arvin? And I try to give him like a little bit of animations here at the end. So like Sada has the Master Ball. He sees a picture of Sada and flips out. And we have Terapagos popping in for a moment. Then there's me, terrified of a Butterfree for some reason. I wonder why. I wonder why Ogreplan's scared of a Butterfree of all things. Got Sada with the book, and then this thing. No, not poison. It's the Butterfree effect.
Rose did not warn us about these extra factors. We need to note them down for the future. In any case, glad to have you back.
I'm glad to be back. Also, not too sure about doing this again in the future.
I don't blame you. Unfortunately, word of the project got out since we were at our wits' end trying to get you back. And we had to reach out to various scientists for some help. So you might get some requests from other regions, but you can turn them down.
Oh boy, this never ends, does it?
I know, right? Speaking of which, here's some letters for you.
Alright, since we are here, you guys basically hung out for most of the stream. I do have to leave in like a few minutes. I will tell you what this letter is. I will tell you what this letter is. Because people are like, what is this letter? What is this letter? Before I tell you what this letter is, though, I gotta ask, give me a rating for this Turo video. What do you how would you rate this? How would you rate the Turo video? Good. Shh, it's okay. It's you didn't hear anything. Uh, nah, I'm waiting. I'll give you the hint. Okay, mostly 9 out of 10s. All right. We'll give it a 9 out of 10. It was pretty good. We need a short where Turasato and Arvin come together. And Grusha's. Yeah. So here's where someone mentions a letter. I'll just put this up so you can notice which character is the one that's like, there's a letter here. I can't find the exact scene where the letter shows up, but this is the character that mentions a letter. And I wonder what this character's involvement has to do with anything. And I wonder what Pokemon, specifically mythical Pokemon, this Pokemon trainer is related with. That's also related to the series. What is that certain team made out of, you know? I wonder. So if we do potentially do a season 3, I wonder where it'll go. I wonder. Indeed, I wonder. Anyways, I'm gonna keep running the polls for later on, but that's gonna be it for me. I gotta go get lunch, and I'll also go get some books. But yeah, thank you gamers for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed. I personally appreciate all the feedback on this. I've taken notes, so hopefully when I do eventually do a season 3, it will be a bit better. But that's gonna be it for me. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the year, and I'll catch you next Friday. Alright, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, and we'll see you around. Bye-bye.